champion prevailed, defeated the villain, now pour him some mail. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday Witcher here on Tales from the Grim. We are getting ready for our Season 1 finale. I honestly cannot believe that we are at a Season 1 finale. These characters are some of the best I have ever experienced in any system, in any genre, movie, TV. I am in awe of the players, and the players themselves are the best on this or any other continent. So I want to be able to go ahead and get into the story as quickly as possible. But again, I want to go over the fact that we are here because of the generosity of two very important places. Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice. Please go on there right now at www.roll20.net/start/Tales from the Grim. Start your own free account. Now is the best time to do so. In fact, we have a cast member who is wrangling up the old high school crew to get together for another ride into an adventure. To do so on Roll20 is to bring back the old days of sitting around the table. It is the same. D&D, Cthulhu, Witcher, whatever system you would like, capers, bring them in, figure out what works best for your crew, play some games, tell some stories. Be kind. It is what wins during these trying times. And also we are here because of Artausorian Games. We are powered by Artausorian Games. In fact, if you enter into our contest right now, you can get a PDF of the core rulebook. You can join and create your own adventures here in the Witcher continent, in the Witcher universe. Artausorian Games is here to fuel your fire creatively, passionately, adventure, jump in there, become a Witcher or anything else on the continent, and tell your tale. And with that being said, we are here to tell a tale. It takes three distinct parts. I'm a very small part, the cast member's a very big part, and you, Legion, are a very big part. If you would like to help, go right now and retweet our going live tweet. I'm sure somebody will throw the command up in chat for me. Retweet that. As soon as we hit 20, it benefits the crew. As soon as it hits 30, it benefits the crew. If we hit 40, I guarantee you that something fantastic will happen for the crew in this session that is not planned. And so if you want to affect positively the outcome of this story, simply retweet. If you want to take a direct hand in the telling of the tale, look straight down and you can see that I have some donations that are placed up there. If you want to make things a little bit more difficult, contribute to Winds Howling. If you want to make it easier, contribute to How Do You Like That Silver? And so anything in between. In fact, if you would like to join us for next season, Trial of the Grasses, create your own Witcher or any character you would like. You will be featured in a solo flashback episode, and then you will become part of the canon, joining the crew for at least one adventure. And so with that being said, where we are right now, it has been a long journey over a relatively short period of time. A crew was collected to mourn the passing of fellow Witcher and friend Ezekon of Kreve. They joined by this funeral. They met by this funeral. They realized that Ezekon had a story to tell, and he told each of them a chapter. And when they began to share, they realized there was pages missing, chapters left. This had to be completed, that had to be finished, it had to be answered. And so they joined together and began moving through the north of the continent, figuring out the path of Ezekon of Kreve, what he was up to, what he had figured out, the enemies that he had made. And speaking of these enemies, They have begun to meet, several of them, as they began to emerge from the woodwork, somebody claiming to have killed Ezekon of Kreve, calling himself now the bastardized Jeffers of Kreve. Some other false witchers, and a sorceress by the name of Kel Hollow. We will see exactly who is what and what is who is in the wrong, who survives, who lives. It is a drama played out in 2 parts across the span of a few hours. But I have a seat down front with the rest of you all as I see some fantastic stuff coming in. Everybody, let's just make sure that we focus on these characters, tell our tale, spread the kindness, and make sure that we end as we began. Well, let's not end at a funeral, but the possibility exists. When last we saw our crew, they were on a boat in a dock, surrounded by drowners, surrounded by silhouettes along the rooftops. It was a trap. But this is a crew that has proven traps to be little more than false 4-letter words. Let's see if they can do so now. As we bring in our crew for the beginning of our season finale, Legion, people watching on YouTube, sit back, grab your favorite drink and snack, and let's listen to a tale told by passionate professionals. I am here with you simply as an observer. Let us begin our night. Everybody, welcome back in as we look around at this lovely cast. Hawk is also here on a different screen, as I only have enough boxes for those that are presently in danger. I mean, in the scene. As you can see, our map brought up on Roll20 is indicating a very interesting position, and I will change the music accordingly. All of the circles that are surrounding our characters are drowners. There are other circles and tokens that are indicated on the rooftops of the buildings all around. And so with that being said, and with the possibility of immortality or the realization of mortality a mere die roll away, I will turn to each member to introduce themselves, their characters, and say what they would like to do. And then we'll find out if the dice are with them and that they can do it. Let's start with our newest member, Lindy. Lindy, how are you? And are you ready?
Greg, I was born ready. I am here and I'm ready to play. I'm very excited to be a part of this group. Have my first combat here with the group. That'll be fun. I'm sure nothing will go wrong, and my services as a healer will be completely unnecessary, especially by the end of this. So there's a lot of drowners around us. But, drowners will attack anything that moves, really. So, and I don't know any weird glowy red eye stuff thing. So, if anything, they're going to help keep people off the boat in her brain. So I think she's just going to adjust so that I was alerted to the people on the rooftops coming this way. So she's going to adjust her knife, her really big knife, really small sword, on her back a little bit, but have her bow at the ready. She doesn't want to shoot first, but she's definitely ready to fight.
And before we cut away from Yannicka, what does this bow look like now that it is out and in hand?
So this bow, it's worked from a very hardy wood. It almost doesn't look worked though. It's so aesthetically pleasing and natural in its curves. It's got 4 points to it rather than the traditional 2, and it is a beautiful elven bow. It's got some nice inlay in it of just different types of wood, and it's a very pretty bow.
And with very pretty bow in hand,
it's a very pretty bow,
let us cut over to Prax. Prax, my friend, who are you playing? Are you ready? And what would you like to do?
Good evening all. I'm playing Enfra. Her name is actually Enfra. And I think I'm ready. Possibly. And drowners, they're whatever they are. The people on the rooftops that are a pain in the ass. The portal is a might bigger problem. And I have a bitch that I need to let Eris stab repeatedly so that I can then freeze her heart and crush it beneath my heels.
That is the plan. That is the plan.
plan.
Let's cut over to Billy. Billy, how are you doing? You had a very trying time last episode, but you're here to tell the tale. And so, my friend, are you ready for this evening, and who are you playing?
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm playing Wim of Gehaso, recently discovered to be Eris's brother. And I'm looking forward to whatever the future brings, to be honest. I'm excited for however this is going to go. So, are we going through what we'd like to do at the start of this now, or are we going to wait till after intros?
You can tell me what you would like to do, sure.
He's going to unfasten a bottle from his hip, pop the cork, take a swig, and then gesture to Eris.
Fantastic. That is your intention, and that is what you will do. Let's see exactly in the order in which everything is done. Let's jump over to my friend Trooper. Trooper, how are you? Who will you be playing? Are you ready?
Yes. I'm sorry. I've got nervous fingers, and so I went to click on unmute myself on the button, and instead of unmuting myself, I stopped the video. I am Trooper SJP, and I'm very excited for what is about to happen, which I am certain will not be emotionally distressing to my character at all. I'm sure it will be fine. I'm playing Prince Ezekon of Kreve, although, I mean, who knows? It doesn't really currently exist, but if it came to exist, maybe it'd be a kingdom in the future. Who knows? I mean, other people got to have their principalities upgraded to kingdoms. Maybe I can too, if I don't die in this battle. So, he is a young man, 30, the prince of a principality that no longer exists, and the father of our slain witcher, and a man with a lot of vows to uphold, including a marriage to Gunter O'Dim, and who knows what that's going to be about. And he's on the docks right now. Yes, are we on the boat? Can't see from our map.
Yeah, technically it's a dock, but we're just going to assume that it's a dock boat combo, since there isn't really a dock boat combo map I could find.
I love dock boats. Dock boats are the best boats.
They're great.
I'm on the boat with my compatriots and my companions and my trusted fellow wanderers, and I hope everything goes well. That is me.
Fantastic. Let's jump over to Josh. Josh, my friend, how are you? Who will you be playing? And are you ready for Season 1's finale?
Of course I am, Greg. I'm ready for this to be the most final of finales for one individual in particular, because they have ruffled quite feathers amongst us, and we are going to entirely wreck their shit. I am playing Eris of Gesso, who is about to do a thing. I'm not going to say what that thing is, Greg. I'm about to move quite quickly, but that's all I'm going to say. And I'm hoping that my party aren't the only ones who don't see this coming. I'm hoping the others don't see this coming as well. So we'll find out. But yeah, it's going to be great. And I think I'm almost as hyped as Legion is at the moment. Yeah, let's do this. We're gonna kill them all, Legion. We're gonna do this.
I love it. I love that as you were soliciting the Legion for help, a Winds Howling contribution came in. I thought that was the perfect moment for Simon to do so. Thank you, my friend. Winds Howling is in effect. Winds Howling, of course, makes things more difficult. Helps me, which is great. And so with that, we go to our final member of the party, last but certainly not least, the recently healed Dusa. JF, who are you playing? Are you ready for the finale? And what do you have in store?
I'm playing Dusa of Gamera. He's a retired witcher turned hunter turned mad dog turned knight on a leash. He's leaning on a sword that's about as tall as he is. It's wrapped in the hide of an elk. And since this is the end of the season, he's learned a few things about returning to the witcher profession, since he got a few wounds from being reckless. You can see him hastily putting on a Lyrian hood for once, and also getting ready to cast to make a few signs that will protect him and his liege lord. He's looking frantically to Wim and to Varan. He's hoping Wim brought some potions and that Varan is going to open a portal, but that doesn't, seeing the fury on her face, he does not think that will be the case.
I hope Wim brought my helmet as well. I mean, I'm just asking. It's
I mean-
really unclear.
Technically, the potions are in Ainfer's bag.
Really?
Yeah, I paid for them.
Oh. Okay, good.
You also know that as we leave the description that you all have given of your wonderful characters and their preliminary thoughts that will lead to and bleed to actions, you should know that Simon has also given you all Swallow. So the potion Swallow take 5 hit points for everyone. Huzzah!
5 hit points.
5 hit points. 5 hit
And
points.
there were a couple other things that came in.
Yeah, we had the winds howling came in. We had
I think that was a mistake. I'm sure that didn't happen.
right. No, we had a lot of bit cheers come in, and if somebody wanted to do something with those, let me know, because a lot of those were just bit cheers that came in without indication of if they were directed to somebody. So please let me know. Oh, a silver came in as well, eh? I did not see that.
I think that was Sphinx.
Oh my gosh, Sphinx! I didn't see that.
Shiny silver.
Sphinx
That's a +2 for us.
plus
Yeah,
2
plus-
for you all from Sphinx. Sphinx, thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody, with the rapid influences of Legion coming in, my incredible crew, my incredible cast will be able to grab those as they come in. Sphinx, Simon, everyone that's contributed so far, thank you so very much as we get ready to tell this tale, and let's roll some initiative as you look around and see all of these lovely creatures. And to set the stage for you, the sun has just recently gone down. It's just dark enough to cast the lights from the lanterns and the lamplight as it bounces off the darkening waters. Inside this churning water, you see drowners aplenty. Normally, a drowner by itself, especially for someone of the Witcher ilk, is not really a concern. But like anything on the continent, if there's enough of them, a problem they are. In addition to their number, each of these drowners seem to be moving with a speed that the Witchers wouldn't recognize. It's very fast. They are moving and jerking and spinning, and without the need for a roll, you would all realize that these jerks and spins and kind of almost marionette pantomimes are very similar to how you saw the Leshen moving whenever you encountered that large creature. And as that fiend bleeds to these smaller creatures, their movements, though, are marked the same, as are their eyes. Everything about the drowners are wet, damp, matted, thin hair, skin that is clammy even from a distance. You can see the slick, oily quality of the skin. The eyes have that pain over them that seems to be able to provide underwater sight, that third lid. But it's the eyes to which you are all drawn and focused as they gaze at you with these marionette-fueled, inspired, ravenous lust. But it's also the motes of red that are dropping out the sides, almost as if they are following a plane, a linear line from corners of eyes to the unknown. And with the number of eyes and drowners in front of you, the lines almost create their own mini sunsets here along the water. But on the bank of the shores, you see the homes of Hengsfor. Nobody is out. Everyone seems to have left. In addition to that, though, on the rooftops, you see spectators. Silhouettes though they are, you can tell that they are armed as bows, their hooked crescent shapes against the darkening sky, readily available, at least at casual glance. But they are there, they are watching, and the last of the features in this scene before we begin is a standing portal that seems to be open on the shore. Just inside this portal is a place of power, a stone that is humming and vibrating with the very nature of magic, the very essence of that has sundered the world. It is chaos, and it is spilling onto the dock, and it seems to be affecting at least the weak-minded creatures in front. For now. Let's roll some initiative as it comes in. Everybody has, let me see, what's the highest we have here? 15, 16. Did anyone beat an 18?
I got a 17.
With that, the drowners launch out of the water. As they launch out, some of them squirm up the docks. They explode out. It's something that you would see in our modern day world. This is a SeaWorld experiment gone mad as the splash zone becomes much, much deadlier. For the first round, Anfra, you have 3 on you. Let's see, Yannicka, you have 3 on you. Everybody else, I believe, is going to have 2 once I move everyone into position.
Oh God.
With the number of drowners that we have in play, I will let you know that your defense is marked down for every enemy and combatant beyond the first. So, Yannicka and Anfra, your defensive scores, whatever you elect to use, will be minused by 2. And so, let us do... I am going to try to make this as easy as possible, as I have pre-rolled several things, but I'm going to roll all combat rolls live so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, with a 22, and this goes for everybody. A 22 for anybody that is attacking, so that is 3 22s against Yannicka, and Anfra, that is 2 22s against everybody else.
Yeah, I'm gonna dodge, Greg.
Let's do that then.
Do we just roll one dodge, or do we roll?
When I get to you guys, when I get to you individually, we're going to start with, I believe Anfra was first with the next initiative. I'm going to go initiative, then you get your own actions. But this way I can make sure that we take the initiative for what it's worth and then go from there.
All right, then. Question, DM. Can
Sure.
I parry with a staff?
You sure can, but just remember that does damage to it.
Yeah, I know.
Parry doesn't do damage, that's block.
Yeah, parry doesn't do damage, just block.
Oh, my bad.
Parry will stagger your enemy, but it's harder to do.
It's, -3, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try and parry with a big frickin' staff.
Let's do that then.
Because she's got the driftwood staff in her left hand and Frostfang in her right. So she's gonna bring that one, try and bring that up. Parry 2. No, that doesn't work. She fails horribly. With a 9.
Roll me a d12.
Yeah, this is gonna go. Four.
Okay, give me a sec as I spin through the ye old tome here. And we did have some silver come in, which helps with this. Silver takes me away from the really bad tables and puts me instead towards the not quite so bad tables. Okay. With this first...
And retweets.
How many?
21.
21 retweets? Okay, I will ask the group this then. I will remove, because of the 20 retweets, I was going to remove the first fumble that was rolled after we hit that number. I will allow you as a group, if you decide to allow this one that just happened to do so, I will. Okay. It will still miss and you'll get the damage, but it will not be a critical. I will remove all of that. So instead, you take 11 damage as the first drowner slices at you. There are 2 more that have attacked.
Jesus.
So each additional defense is a burned stamina. And tell me how you would like to do it.
She's gonna try and dodge out of the next one. Not that it's gonna work, probably, because I get eaten by things apparently in this game. Oh no, a crit
Nice.
with a 31.
Okay, and with that, you are able to take the first shot that does 11 damage to you, soaked by any, I don't think you have any armor on, but as you take the damage and you feel it, you're able to move mostly because of just realizing the sheer number, but also the creature that attacked you helps to kind of move you out of the way of its kin. A third attacks. Make sure that you take off another stamina.
Yeah. He almost negligently brings the frost fang up behind her as she's dodging out of the way, and tries to block with it. No, parry. I have to parry. It's gonna suck, but I have to parry. 16. Okay, well,
Okay, with a 16
not a
then.
crit.
Right, not a crit. It does hit, and it does an additional 9 points of damage as it slips over the top of its claws. The wet and jagged yellow nails slip over the top of your staff and cut into the side of your neck, drawing a line of blood down shoulder. How about some... What do we just have come in? More silver has just come in from the shop, it looks like. The express slide down to the water here, as Hawk has contributed 20 more, so everybody make sure you're plussing 4 to your group as you get through this. So that takes care of you. But what we'll do now is I will spin around to everybody that got attacked here, and then we'll go back and do everybody's action. So you have your action coming up. Nothing more will happen to you. But Eris, you have been attacked twice for 22 apiece. How would you like to try to dodge that?
Okay. I will, as you say, dodge one, and I have my knife in my hand, so I'm going to dodge one. And can I try and parry the other?
Absolutely. Parry is, like they said, -3, but it...
Okay, so first one... 34?
That'll work. That'll dodge it. Yeah, you've dodged it.
Yeah.
You've just barely made it.
Whew. And for the parry, what does it do if I succeed on parry?
Parry is...
it staggers your enemy.
Yeah, they get staggered. They get the
And you
staggered
don't
condition.
damage your weapon.
So it would basically be a parry at a +1 because you have a +4 with the -3. So
okay. So that,
Although the -3 is already figured into the macro.
oh, right.
That is a fumble.
Let's see if it's a fumble enough. It
so
is.
hits, but no crits.
So you're able to, you attempt to dodge it, but with this fumble that hits, no crits, but you are going to take 10 damage. And let us find out where that is going to be. On your torso, so that is a full 10 damage. I don't believe that sneaks through your armor, but you feel the punch against your chest as it does so. With that, let's go to Ezrin. Ezrin, you have 2 on you as well. Each of them striking for a 22. What would you like to do?
I will parry both. I will fail both parries, but hopefully not by enough.
Okay.
That is my hope for a crit. So this will be the first one, and I will get a plus 4 to this. I have to hit the button just right. You know.
Right.
It's a little tricky.
It's the tricky button.
It's the tricky button. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to add the 4 in. 21, missed by 1. And then, which is really good for me. And an 18.
Okay, so the first attack does 15. And that
to
is
my...
It is going to be to your left leg, so that'll be 7. It does 7 to your left leg if it gets through your armor. The second one is going to do 8 to your torso. So if it gets through your armor, there's 8 there. I don't think it does, though, does it?
I have to check.
And then let's go over to Yannicka. Yannicka, you have 3 on you. Each of them has attacked for a 22. What would you like to do?
That's real bad, Greg. I would like to dodge, please.
Yes,
so
you
I'm at a
may.
-2 because there's 3 of them.
But you have a +4 because of...
Yeah.
How do you like that silver? Yep.
28.
That'll work as you leap back and the first swipe comes in, just missing your furs as it swipes across your elven frame. Second comes in, though.
How much
Bonus.
stamina is it per
1 stamina.
Okay. Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
It's 1 after each, for each second and third and fourth.
Correct. Yeah.
And just
Okay.
for the rules, we lose an armor. Do we lose an armor if the blow penetrates the armor, or if it doesn't, or both?
It has to penetrate. So if it penetrates, you lose armor points.
22.
22 is exactly what you need, and you are able to
right.
get back just as one of the nails kind of ruffles your hair as the second
Yep.
strike comes in. And third and
And the
final.
last one. Oh, got hit.
And as one
21.
hit slips through, it'll do 10 damage
Oh, okay.
to your left leg for only 5. So if it gets through your armor, it would
No.
do 5. So it glances off your elven armor. And we go then
Yeah.
to Whim. Whim, you have 2 on you. They are coming in, each striking for a 22.
All right, so the first one, while he's still drinking whatever's in this bottle, he's going to be aware of his surroundings and try to sidestep the first one with a dodge. Right.
I like the image of Whim drinking while he's doing this, by the way. Like full on drinking a potion and like stepping to the side.
Oh, for some reason, I can't. There we
Switcher
go.
stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Some of us are proficient in drinking.
Witchers can do that.
Absolutely, JF.
I've played the video game. You can chug so many potions while in combat.
It's a Witcher skill.
And dodge you do as the first swipe comes down and kind of bangs off the dock as it misses you so profoundly. You hear the wet slap of its clawed hand as it palms the dock. Crack.
And then he's going to try to, with potion in hand, the other one in the backside, try to parry it with his, try to like swipe it away with his knuckles.
Okay.
So so there's 2 on me. That's a -2. I have +4, but then parry's -3, so that's a -1.
Correct. Yep.
But it's only -1
Yeah.
after the first. So
So the first one is normal, and the next one has a -1.
And
Yeah.
the parry macro comes with the -3. So I
Yeah.
can just put in +2 and be fine.
Yes.
Look at us doing math.
No.
Okay, so with a 15, the strike comes through. It will do 13 to your right leg, which would be 7, and so, or 6 if it gets through your armor, which I don't believe it does, correct?
It does
All right.
not.
So a lot of banging and missing, the first attack being the most successful on Ainfra, but the rest of the drowners are seemingly bouncing off of or missing completely a lot of these armor-clad figures. When we finally get to Dusa, 2 of these drowners attack you, each for a 22. What do you do, my friend?
This is gonna grab that sword. Whoa, wait a sec. That's a 200 sword, and he wants to do some signs. So he's gonna start dancing. He's gonna dance around these things trying to get him. And you can all see why he hasn't worn that hood before. It does not look good on him. It's too tight, and it's kind of it doesn't look.
It's not
good.
his color.
So, it's not. It just doesn't work.
No, it's not.
So,
It messes up the aesthetic.
so this is the last fight. So here we go. Okay, the first roll, the first dodge, which is it's not the dancing, it's the dodging. Here we go. Yes. Oh yes. Ugh. It's a fumble, but +4, so that's at 19. No, that's not good enough. God damn it. Second one.
Well, if you would please roll me your fumble. We'll take it from a 19.
Oh,
so
yeah,
whatever
of
you
course.
roll will be.
Yeah. Oh. That's subtracted from. Okay. So that's definitely gonna hit me. Work on those dancing skills. 21 on the second one.
I need you to roll me
+4.
a d12 if you would.
D12, okay. It's a 3.
Okay, and like I said, we do have the lovely, how do you like that silver, in effect right now with 2 levels of it. So this is going to keep things from getting truly nasty. But as it comes in right at your leg that you just had put back into place, you feel your knee slightly give that twinge of an old wound as your knee sprains again. You're going to take a -1 to your speed and dodge here as you feel that left leg just give. It's too soon, you think, but it's just enough when it hits you.
I just fixed that.
It'll do 14 damage plus 8, which will, or I'm sorry, 14 plus 5, which is 19 damage total.
And I look at Dusa accusingly like it's his fault, not the drowners, because obviously.
Yeah. He's not a good dancer, so.
And yeah, that will be to your left, conveniently, your left leg.
The same leg.
It's the same.
I know, I said I just fixed that. How dare you break it again?
It is your lead leg that gets hit again. And like I said, it's 419, but that will be halved down to 9. So if it gets through your armor, it'll do additional damage. If not, you just have the sprain.
Okay, I gave my armor for that leg to Wim
It's also in the bag.
for last session.
Quick, everyone, raid the bag. Get your armor back on.
It's in Wim's bag, right? The bag that Wim has.
No, it's with Ainfra probably.
No, because the armor didn't come back until
That's
later,
9.
No,
right?
it did. We put Wim in his armor.
Okay.
Oh.
All right then. So that's 9 of. So that's no armor on the leg.
Then that would be 19 damage as it hits.
19 damage? I thought we said 9.
It was
Okay.
14 plus 5 for 19.
19. Okay, that sucks.
Isn't it halved because it's a leg, though?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I keep looking
Yeah.
at the general stuff. My bad. Yes, it is 9. It is 9. So it'll be a total of 9. Thank you, everybody, for keeping me straight.
So, yeah, there's no armor there.
A 9.
So that would be 9. And then the second one would hit your right leg. Do you have armor on the right leg?
Yes. So is that 9 off my hit points or off my leg? I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's
here.
9 off your hit points. 9 straight off
Okay.
your hit points. And then with the second one hitting your right leg for 8, that would be halved to 4. And if you've got armor on, I know that that'll deflect it.
Yes, he does have armor on that leg.
So as this absolute piranha-like activity, as these drowners leap out of the water with this ravenous look, these dots of red motes coming out of their eyes, this crazy marionette jerking in their movements as they swipe strangely against all of you, you all suffer this initial barrage, but then we're back up to the top for your own actions. Anfra, what would you like to do?
Well, she's got the driftwood staff in her left hand and Frostfang in her right. And she kind of glances at Yannicka half apologetically that she's about to do something because she doesn't like getting eaten by things, and just kind of negligently brings Frostfang in front of her and shoves it out. And at the same time, you see a wave of ice just start moving from her in all directions. 3 meters in all directions. As it looks almost like the Wild Hunt is riding in front of her. And everybody in 3 meters needs to make a dodge roll.
Okay.
I will make one for, let's see, all of them starting about here. How's that? Can you see that? Wait,
It's everybody within about 9.8 feet, 10 feet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everyone in 10 feet.
right there. So
Oh,
it'll be,
okay.
so that's going to be Eris, Wim, Yannicka, and then all of those, and I'm going to roll for all of them at once. So
That's a 35, by the way.
How do you bring up the little distance arrow?
It's under the map, or if you look at the, under the,
Oh, I see it.
yeah, the snap to center.
Ah, so close, so far away.
okay, so if they fail, what happens to them?
Well, if they fail, they take 46 damage and they're frozen. They
Great.
don't get to roll for it, they just are frozen.
What happens to your friends if they fail?
Something different, I hope.
Unfortunately, I can't turn it off. Sorry.
We're gonna have
I
some.
mean,
words.
unless the
You're gonna be frozen. You won't be able to speak.
Okay, I already have an icy
I mean,
heart. It's fine.
it only takes a reduction to your dodge.
Oh, because we don't need that. That's fine. All right.
Yeah, I know,
let's
but
go.
I'm really hopeful that unless of course the DM rules that I can, because I have a high enough magic control that I can limit that, which I didn't think, but I need to get these assholes out of my way.
Cool. So how much damage?
13.
13. Okay.
I love that.
And this
face
and this
that
beats
Greg made.
armor, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it doesn't say that. It just says this one doesn't go straight through armor. So this one is just you have armor. It can be harmful.
Do you choose your chest armor if it's like an area effect or
It's just
average of
a
highest and lowest?
massive wave of ice.
Yeah,
right now.
I will go with your chest armor for this, just to
Okay.
if that's what it's.
So cool.
And as I do so, I'm going to run through the assholes that I just froze.
You talking to me?
No, not you.
Okay, did anybody take damage from that for 13?
Not with my armor, but how much damage does my armor take?
We're saying that it bounces off the armor, so if it doesn't
Okay.
pierce you, you're all right. However, the frozen effect, because you all failed to
Yeah.
dodge, they all get the frozen effect, correct?
Well, Eris isn't frozen.
No, Eris
is
isn't.
not
Eris
frozen.
Yeah,
got away.
I was gonna say it goes to the defender, right?
Absolutely.
Because-
Yeah. You're fine. So I
Um,
will. Okay, so that means Yannicka and Wim are frosty.
How much negative to dodge and speed? Was
Frozen, it's
I can tell you.
like -3.
Yeah. Cool. Just so I know.
Yeah, -3 to speed, -1 to reflex.
Okay.
Okay, so you clear yourself,
I
Anfra?
clear, and then she glanced at everyone, and I need to measure a thing. Cool. But that's better. She points the crystal staff, or the driftwood staff, at this asshole on this roof up here. This one, right up there. And I will spend the 3 stamina,
Let everybody
and
see
cast-
this asshole. There we go.
mental command at him, and order him to shove his friends off the roof.
Okay.
But he needs to roll a resist magic.
I'm sure an 11 will do it.
Oh yeah. That's
31.
about 20 points of luck he needs to spend. Be fine.
Yeah, he doesn't have 20 points of luck. He is an NPC. And so you believe that he has every intention of throwing his friends to their death. We will, let's see, we'll enfeeble, let's see, we'll pick this gent right here. And I forget which one. We'll just give him the hallucination eyeball so we know which one he is. And he sees the enemy as his friends and vice versa. Anything else you would like to do?
No, she just starts to let the frost that's surrounding her kind of crow up her. She doesn't really care about it. The ice is natural to her.
Eris, you would see the explosion of ice as it whips out of Anfra at the end of the dock as she begins to move. You'd see your brother and Yannicka caught in it, as many of the drowners are. You are still surrounded, but many of them are sort of frosty at the moment as you see icicles kind of dripping from the previously slimy exterior. But what do you do, my friend?
Can you just... I send you a DM in Zoom. I just need one confirmation, and that will determine which direction I go. It does? Is that you nodding to yes?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Okay, in which case, I look to Wim. I give him a hand gesture, holding the blade in the same hand, pinch it with my thumb, and just go. And he will know what that means. We've done this shit before. And I am going to... Are they still in the water, these drowners, or have they made it up onto the docks? Are they like half in, half out? What's it? How close are they to us?
You see several, as mentioned in last session, you see several that are doing the old crocodile. You just see like their eyes.
These ones out here, sort of.
Yes, those are the ones that you
Okay.
can see that are above the water.
Okay, but the ones that are like right in front of us, are they? Okay, all right. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I want to see, can I move past my 2 compatriots to the end of the pier?
Yes, they don't have any opportunity attacks, so you can.
Okay, fantastic. So here's what I'm gonna do. I go. I've got quite a lot of movement. I go here. I see the 2 that just attacked my buddy, Ezran, and I have a blade in each hand, which I drew last session, thanks to my brother tipping me off. And I'm going to take both blades, jump at them, stab both of them, and I want all 3 of us in the water right now.
Oh, okay, who are you taking in with you?
I want this one here and this one here.
All right. You roll me an attack here, and we will. This is going to be like a. Why don't you go athletics, and we'll do a combo kind of versus athletics, which
Okay.
I'm not sure they even have anything. Yeah, they do.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a point of luck here. So, and I still want, like, I'm also planning on stabbing them as well with my knives. So, like, I don't know if that changes anything, but
Yeah, go ahead, and if you want to stab, if you
It's
want to
an
make an attack.
Assassin's Creed takedown. You stab
yeah,
with
the
it,
double,
yeah.
the double.
Right.
Assassin's Creed. So I'll give the athletics first. Okay.
You get them.
Yeah, let me. That's
36.
that's math.
Yeah, you have these two however you'd like them, and then you may attack as you are all kind of. Dusa, it's not your turn, but you would see Eris go like whizzing past and jump and grab these two off the end of the dock and like leap suspended in the air for a second. What do you do?
So that is first one, and then that's a second one. With,
Is it Deuce's turn? Sorry?
Not yet. No, you just
Okay.
yeah,
So
you would just this play is
Yeah.
going on in
Gotcha.
front of you.
That's
Ezra,
a
you would of course.
31 and a 33 random points, not going for a precise attack.
Go right ahead and give me damage for these. As with the athletics, I'm counting that as their dodge.
Okay, so the first one is my fancy dagger. So that does 5. But it's got 25% chance to bleed and 50% chance to burn for them. And then the other is just, and that's meteorite, and then the other is just my standard for 12.
Okay, so I will roll. You want low for these, so let me. No bleed, no burn.
That's cool.
But on the second one, no bleed on the second one as well.
That's fine.
And how we're gonna play this is because you did have the crit that came in. As you grab both of these, and Ezrin and Dusa would see you fly by and take both of these, you run your dagger into the first one, doing the 5 damage. The second one that you run the blade through, you pierce both of them. But as you pierce, tears pulls out of the side of your body, and you see her face streak back in rage, as this would be Ezrin and Dusa see this, as her eyes elongate, her entire mouth opens, and you see her fall on this drowner as she wraps her now distended and elongated digits around its throat as the 4 of them splash into the water.
So, as that happens, I would like to splash underwater. The other, how damaged are these two? How fucked up are they?
They are very fucked up, and as soon as they hit the water, they begin to trail the ichor that is blood, and several of these glassy eyes beneath the surface begin to smell and look towards the way of the spilled blood.
Fantastic. So, okay. I would like to spend stamina for an extra round of attacks, and I would like to try and finish these two off.
Sure,
So that would
absolutely, yeah.
be, small blades again. This is secondary action, so I got to do that. And how much stamina is it? 3?
It's 3. It is.
Okay. Here we go. That is 1. Yep.
Attacking's an additional -2. Attacking, blocking, and parrying.
It's automatically added in for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, when it says, "Is this an extra action?" If you tick yes, it automatically applies.
Oh no, I meant for being underwater.
Sure.
No, that's not. We're revealing backstory, but that penalty
well
is
then.
not engaged here.
27 and 27.
Yeah, I'm thinking that both of those are going to. It is mysterious, isn't it? That is a big miss for the first one. And another miss for the second one. Roll me damage, and we'll see what we do here. The first one is the one that took 5 before.
Okay, so that is, once again, hopefully my decent dagger does the damage indeed. A little deadlier. That was a mouthful. An 8.
And I will roll for... Bleed does hit, or burn does hit, so even beneath the water, this magical flame licks up from the wound, taking and beginning to consume the drowner. It looks like it's fighting the elements, but at the same time, it's doing damage inside the wound. So there's steam and...
That's 13.
The second one dies, but you tell me how you do it.
The second one dies, and I drop... How deep is this?
This is for pretty deep drafted vessels, so you're looking at about a 30-foot swell
Okay,
here.
I start sinking, and as I do so, I'm gonna kick once, draw both my my blades from them, look over towards the group of the other ones, take a deep breath, and underwater say, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough." And I swim at them full speed.
Okay, so let's get rid of this one, and we will send you, I'm assuming that direction is where you want to go?
That is correct.
And as the challenge has been given to these lovely drowners who seem intent upon the cloud of blood, irregardless of the fact that it is blood of their kin, they are swarming regardless. And let me go now to Ezrin. You just witnessed the end of the dock cleared, and Eris is beneath the surface.
This probably will not work, but I will try. I will see the trouble that Yannicka is in, and I will say, Yannicka, thou shouldst break free of that ice. And I will give you a command, and I will probably not be successful because you are, after all, very willful. But what is your will?
9.
9. Okay, so that's not great, but I will try. And it's my will plus 6, I believe. Yes. Well, will plus my.
You have a plus 4 to whatever you would normally have.
No, I think with my command skill, it's die plus the ability plus the skill.
Right.
Plus 4.
Plus 4 for silver.
That's not. That was the wrong one. Pardon me. That was a will save. That was not it.
You should be able to click the skill on your thing and it'll roll for you.
I hope it'll work. Let's see if the dice are successful. Let's see.
A 20.
Yeah. So I failed. It's very unlikely I can hit your will, but I tried. I will, if I can grab my helmet and put it on, I would like to do that.
Yes. You can absolutely throw your helmet on. I will
say that as I'm sort of giving her the command to try to help her break out of this ice unsuccessfully.
If you would too, while you're throwing on your helmet, roll me an awareness.
Oh, fun.
And it would have been Mistress Yannicka rather than just Yannicka because that's too familiar. Sorry, that would have been impolite.
We can't have that.
No. 22.
You would see that on one of, in between, let me see if I can show you exactly here. I pan over just a bit. You see over in this direction 2 figures that seem to be watching the proceeding.
May I ask just a small question?
Sure.
Thinking of their body language, are they watching in a, oh no, what's happening kind of a way, or a evil mastermind kind of way? Mwahaha. How would you describe their body language? I'm just asking.
Roll me a human perception. As this is going by in moments, as you're.
I can do that. Because like sometimes people look a little panicked.
Yeah, there's terror versus interesting.
Interesting. At
Whether they
29,
do
that's a
the
critical.
head turn, just-
Let me roll that critical. 34.
With this critical of human perception, you realize that something about both figures is very familiar. The smaller of the two, you immediately recognize as Kel Hollow. And whoever this other very familiar figure is, as noble, you are meant to read somebody not just for the expression that they give, but for their carriage, for how they present themselves. Everything is a part of the story that is an adversary or an ally. This person seems incredibly familiar, and apparently is incredibly familiar with Kel as they begin to kiss.
Oh,
Ouch.
Nothing like a little drowner murder ambiance to set the mood, am I right?
Apparently.
Remember how Ainfra said she was going to kill your ex-girlfriend? The emphasis was on X at the time.
Nobody told me that, but it's. Oh.
And with that, revelation, we go to Yannicka. Yannicka, you would hear the command to break free of that ice, but it just doesn't seem to catch. It slides right off.
Stupid humans, stupid sorcerers. And I think it's not you personally, she's just bitter. It's not a great idea to fire a frosty bow. She doesn't want the string to snap, so she's going to sling it back over her shoulder, and as she does, pull out her knife, and with her other hand, pull up her hood, and then get shanking. Stab. So,
I
would like to.
I like the slow movement until it got time to stab, and then get shanking.
Stab. Yeah, she definitely holds her knife. Serial killer stance. I'm gonna do some beautiful fast strikes. No, not an extra action. Yes, that weapon. Sure, random. Why would we decide on where we would attack? That's too thought. Oh, crit fail in the first one.
Roll me what the crit fail is. It means you still hit by 1.
Well, yeah. All right. Cool beans. All right, then. Let's see. And these would be on 2 different guys if I could.
Go right ahead, yeah.
Because, let's see. All right, so first strike is 13, second strike is 14, but I also need to roll my doctor skills, which is bleeding wound.
Oh, this is my favorite. Yes, do that, please.
So, holy shit balls. That's 14 points above 15, so 7 points of bleed damage on the first one. And then 6 points of bleed damage on the second one.
So tell everyone, since this is the first time we've seen this happen, what this actually
roll
is.
Location too. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, you rolled location. I rolled and it wasn't great.
Okay. Oh, you already did that. I see that. Cool. So Yannicka, she very, very slowly puts her bow up, pulls out a knife, pulls up her hood, and then, even though she's very cold right now and she's a bit frosty, a bit frozen, she still moves very quickly and very precisely towards where she's hitting. It doesn't look like she's taking care to, go, I'm gonna stab him in the torso. She just stabs, but in mid-motion, she seems to aim towards more vital parts or arteries, places that bleed.
And that's
she's
exactly what happens.
She's definitely going for that artistic arterial spray.
You get it. You get it. As you hit the first kind of one of the main blood highways of the Drowner, it gives you that nice glow as it sprays you with the nice mist, reddening your cheeks. The first one dies. The second
Great.
one is terribly wounded. What do you do to the second one? Just
Well, I already did my attacks. I think, however, though, because they don't get reactions, I'm gonna move to the other side of the switcher. Because there's the sorceress isn't there with me, and that seems like a lot of drowners. Just saying. So, how much is it to get a second round of attacks? How much stamina?
3 stamina.
3 stamina? I'll hold off for now.
Okay.
So yeah, she's just gonna stab, kind of look around, realize she's alone, and then back away.
And with that, we go to Wim. Wim, you would see as Yannicka backs past you a row of kind of almost statuesque, and one of them now gone, drowners from that position. What would you like to do, my friend?
As he was finishing his potion, he frigidly puts it back to his waistline, fastens it to his belt, and then you can kind of see the frustration and the anger in his eyes, and he cricks his neck, puts one hand out to his right hand side and goes, Igni, and casts the cone of Igni at the 3 rightmost in that art.
Nice.
A 2-meter cone.
Okay, yep. You can definitely blast. Let's see, it's a 2-meter cone. You should be, yeah, you can get these 3, whoops. You can get these 3 right here.
Okay. All right, that's some good old spell casting.
And they get minus on their reflex, so I will roll this, but it'll be for all of them. Critical.
Oh, dang. I don't suppose I could burn 4 luck or 5 luck to get it above. Well,
I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it. And because you have, I am not going to bounce up the criticals on every other critical that I roll because of, how do you like that silver? I've been doing it all season, so I won't change it now. So if you get over there, roll me some damage for me, please.
Did that crit count their -1 to their reflex?
No, I hadn't even added that in yet, but
Okay.
yeah, I went ahead. I was going to have the ability to roll. I didn't roll to put it on top, but.
Okay, I got to roll this manually, so it's. I spent 2 stamina on it, so it's 2d6 plus a 50% chance of setting on fire. Five damage.
Okay, so somehow these poor bastards are frozen and on fire.
Well, they're chilled to the bone, but their flesh is icy hot.
Yep, so we'll give them that.
They have officially become a microwave pizza. They're frozen in the middle, but they're burnt on the outside.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
And
No
somehow
one wants
delicious right now. Okay, so as you hit all of these, they begin to melt in a very off-putting way. So elements of these lovely
Probably just giggle a little bit. It's probably kind of amusing.
right, much like middle school cheerleaders. No, they begin to elements of them that were frozen begin to melt as the sides of their faces slack, as their body begins to have a melted candle consistency. These 3 are still here, but they're more decoration at this point.
All right, and then can I use, can I burn 3 stamina, use my move action to charge through that line?
Oh, hell yes. And then just roll me in athletics, and then I'll say one thing and you tell me the rest of it.
Okay. Athletics, that's dexterity. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay.
Oh, fuck yes. Okay, so I'm assuming you're running right through here, my friend.
Yep.
Let's cut to the alleyway where some hot and heavy lovers are enjoying the scene. But just at that moment, Kel Hollow peeks from between the kiss through the alley and sees 3 drowners explode in an odd mixture of ice crystals and sparks as they burst and pop as one would if they simultaneously hit somebody with a loose snowball while stepping on a campfire. And so as it explodes and throws ice and crystal into the air, the School of the Bear Witcher, known as Whim of Gesso, explodes out as these 3 creatures are gone. What else do you want to do, my friend?
Use the remainder of my movement action to start scaling this wall.
With a 30 critical, a 33 total for athletics, I am going to... What is your jump? What is your leap for your...
Is that Dex as well?
It should be already broken down as kind of like your substats. It should be over on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's right underneath run. It's like stun, run, leap. It's right above HP.
Oh, okay. 4.
Okay, 4, and then with your critical, I will allow you to get halfway up as you leap 12 feet up the wall. You basically soar about 2 feet higher than you would need to jam a basketball and grab hold of the top rung of, or the top lip of the stone window. Let me move you over here and I'll get you right where I want you to be.
More like a window.
Yeah, and
You're out of the game.
Or you just won the game. One of the two.
I think you win.
I think it's up for a vote.
Yeah.
Whim, you jump up and you lose sight of the people that are on the rooftop, but you are now maybe 5 to 10 feet from what would be like the gutter area of this roof.
Awesome. Cool. And then I'll end my turn there.
Dusa, what would you like to do?
Dusa is going to oh god. He's going to head over to Ezrin, get close in, and twirl around back to back, draw upon the power of Earth to create an active shield around them both. So that's basically like a glowing shield of Quen. And I'm gonna put 3 stamina into that, and burn another stamina to thrust at one of the creatures, tearing the hide off this sword and revealing it for what it is, which is an old corroded sword that's been polished and sharpened but doesn't look great. And he'll thrust with that sword, half-hand it, because it's a two-handed sword. He'll half-hand it and then thrust straight at one of these creatures. He's going to go for a random location.
Okay.
It's easier. Okay, so let's go for the sword attack. Yes. 22. Plus 4, 26.
That was the damage that you can certainly keep. Roll me a swordsmanship, but keep that 22 damage, which is
That's fucking damage.
Damage. All right, I hope I hit.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it the fast one. Just choosing the weapon.
Dusa Unleashed.
Yeah, just wait till I have a cherry on top of this.
Plus 4.
No, it's plus 4, and he's gonna set it afire. Oh man! Wait, I did 2 attacks here.
Yeah, you can do 2 fast attacks.
Yeah, because it's fast.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna put this a fumble though.
Yeah, but did you add the plus 4 in for both of those, or?
I did not add them.
Okay,
That's only the fumble's on the first one.
so the fumble would be 22 then, with or 20. +4 would take it to 22. -2 for the fumble with a 20. The other one's at 23. The dodge, though, is a 15. So this drowner with the first attack is going to take enough to kill it with the first swipe. So the drowner in front of you dies by your...
Yeah.
You have a drowner kebab.
Yeah. And then the finishing touch on that is I'm going to set the sword on fire now with a shout. Like that.
Yeah.
Because that is incredibly cool, and just as Wim explodes through 3 to the left, Kelhallow would look and see this one incinerate on the end of your blade as it ignites, and for a moment, there is a look of concern in one half of our lover's deer.
I can't wait till I can say something. That's what I want. Just say something.
You have another attack, my friend. Roll me some damage as you get to clear out or attempt to clear out another one of these. That also missed with a 15, so.
All right, lovely. So then he'll pull the sword out and slash at it. And that's it. Yeah, that's 18 damage.
18. It does not get the bleed damage, but it is on fire now. No bleed, no fire, but you would see that this one takes a hearty blow to the point where it, well, let's see exactly, as I'm not. You bisect its right leg from its body as it sees its own leg go flipping off into the night. It stands comically for a moment, realizing that as soon as it falls, that will likely be the last time it's ever in this elevated position. And so it just stands there for one last time, Dusa. Anything else you'd like to do? I think you're...
If he can, I mean, I've done all my attacks, all my actions, but I can still move, right? And
you can, but you will be taking your Quen with you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If Ezrin can't move, then he's going to stay there. Back to back.
Okay, so at the end of this, as all of our party, for the first time in our campaign, starts a fight together, we see what happens when a family found is able to explode against these creatures. Everything is... These drowners are getting decimated. They're getting torn through. As Wim launches his siege onto the rooftops, Wim, you're climbing up and you hear an absolute ah! As one of them goes flying off and smashes into the ground right here and disappears. Apparently his friend throwing off his other friend who owed him money. And as you watch that crash, all of you roll me an awareness roll.
Is this a regular awareness or magical awareness?
Oh, this is regular awareness.
Yeah, that's a fumble for me.
Yeah.
This is in a bit of a state right now, you know? He's paying attention to the immediate.
That's an 18, which I don't feel is too bad for someone who's bleeding and icy as fuck.
Yeah.
19. I'm
21.
icy and covered in blood, but it's not my own.
Raise your hand if you got a 20 or higher. Okay, Eris, you've taken yourself out of the equation because of your current beneath the water position, but you did get a 29, so I will give you some loose awareness as to what's going on as we are moving in to take our break. But before we do so, all of you that rolled higher than a 20, you hear
I look up.
That sounds like wings.
And just as you look up, maybe it's just a trick of the light, but
No.
there's the thought of the medallions that hung around the necks of Starzan and Porthos and Jeffers of Kreve. And there is a as fire erupts into the night. But that's where we'll take our break, everybody. We will see you in 5 minutes. Please hydrate, get up, stretch, and we'll be back here to see what happens when you fuck with Witchers from the School of the Dragon.
He's hydration, right?
Right. We'll be right back, friends. See you in a bit. Hello, everybody, and we are back. And as we just left the docks where something was coming from the sky, it was a dragon playing bagpipes, according to Jim. Fuck you, Jim. And anywho, as we are back in the shop of Ananias, we are moments before the drowners have burst out of the harbor. And so this is the moments as we turn back the clock a little bit. The sun gets closer to the horizon. Sun is still creating its pinks and its purples. It is not quite the darkness that we know. Ananias, you are in your shop. Standing in front of you is the street informant known as Susie Midnight. Standing beside is one of the laborers, one of the dock workers. You would know this person as being one of the right-hand men of the harbor master. This is Charlie. If you're going to,
of course,
face claim Charlie is James Gandolfini. Rip. But they are both standing there, and they are apparently awaiting orders. What are you thinking?
I think we cannot waste any time. We need to mobilize everybody. Susie, get the Urchin Marines ready. Have them ready to climb the rooftops, and do whatever they can. I have a feeling our friends are about to be surrounded up there. Charlie, mobilize the militia. We need swords, we need crossbows, and we need them ready. Meet me at the docks. I've already sent Ezra. Malachi will be coming with me. When you see me, wait for the signal. When I snap my fingers, we move.
I can do that. And he leaves the shop.
Now, Susie, we must be careful. I don't know if these are true witches or if they are some strange, modified, mutated version of them, but you and the rest of the crew do what you can to interrupt what they do, but most of all, keep yourselves safe. You've never fought anything like this before.
Okay, boss. And she says again,
Now, also for you, especially be careful. The one who calls herself Kel, she already has a target on your back.
she smiles, half of her face painted in the pitch, half of her head cut up to the apex. Yeah, she can get in line.
And if you get the opportunity, do not hesitate to slit her throat.
She has not a sheath or a scabbard on her belt, but there's no other way to describe the knife that she has. It's a holster. And as she pulls out the knife that has spiked finger guards along the hilt, she spins it quickly, blurring to almost propeller speed, and puts it back into the holster as a gunslinger in some unknown plane of existence might do.
That's my girl. Let's move.
She disappears out into the night, and you are alone in your shop.
I turn to Malachi, the other golem. I give him the orders. Scenario 66. Defend all cost.
There is a loose kind of someone just knocked over a suit of empty armor sound as it clunk, 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 pulls itself back upright, but then it looks at you and begins to move, ducking underneath the door frame, its head touching the bell that announces customers.
I quickly check my vest to see that all 5 of my throwing daggers are there. Stiletto is still hidden up my sleeve. I have my falchion at my side. I have my best armor that a townsperson can wear. on me, and I follow right behind Malachi.
As soon as you step past your door, I need you to roll me a dodge.
Let's see, where's that at on here?
Should be.
Oh, there it is. I
yep.
see it.
Alrighty, let me. Ties go to the defender as you barely move away from a column of fire that explodes from just in front of your threshold, taking your welcome mat into a charred, burned. It just now says, well, as it reaches up into the sky, piercing the clouds. And from somewhere, you hear a voice. I'll let you roll an awareness as soon as it's said. Stay in your shop, old man.
Age and guile beat youth, magics, and a bad hairdo.
You don't know where this is coming from. You believe that it's probably magically augmented to throw you off. Do you do anything else?
This Kill Hollow will find that Ananias does not scale so easy, and he keeps on going.
Roll me another dodge, please.
Locks the door as he locks the door to the shop as he goes. Another dodge,
Please. $25.
25.
Another flame column erupts directly in front of you. It is literally between you and the docks. Only this time the column spreads and becomes a wall. It is between you and Malachi as well. Malachi is kind of half in the fire, but it doesn't seem to be bothering the golem. But it's more or less looking at you for instruction, but your way to the docks is prevented at this point.
I order Malachi to go to the docks.
It begins to run.
Okay, so this is the way you wish to play.
The next one burns down your shop.
Shops can be rebuilt.
Can they?
I go back to the shop. I open the door. Lock it behind me.
The bell dings.
I go to the basement.
You are in your basement.
I debate two options. I go to a hidden door across the room from where the refuge chute is. I check my escape tunnel.
It's there.
I open the door and start to go through.
You disappear into... Now, I'm assuming this is the one that goes parallel to the chute, so you're heading towards the docks through your escape tunnel?
It's parallel, but it ends up going into the dockmaster's office quarters.
Okay. So as you move in this direction, the exchange begins on the boat. A cry pierces the night with a gout of flame that rushes and illuminates the sky above Hangsfor. As Ananias descends upon the dock of his town, we go back to the group. You all hear and see this blast from the sky. And as the flame erupts, casting against the night, giving each of you this kind of top-heavy glow, you see a great winged creature go over the docks. As it does so, it does not breathe flame down upon you all. It simply flies overhead. All of my Witchers, roll me Witcher training, please.
Can I roll a monster lore?
Yes, if you have monster lore, you may roll
I
it.
do have monster lore. Thanks,
too.
backstory.
Me too.
You do.
Backstory. I feel like
Saskia? No,
Yannick and I got monster lore from different ways.
probably. Yeah. 13.
17.
Okay, everybody over 20, and then
Deuce a crit, so he needs to roll a crit die.
yeah, roll crit die for me, do so, please. So it's just whim from your position as you're climbing up the wall. You are closest to this heavenly body that is rushing over the docks, and as you look up, you get a moment's perfect gleam, whether it be in the flame that is coming out of this creature, but you see the tinged red scales that are lining the auburn kind of mahogany and burgundy scales that are running the length of this creature. This is a massive beast. In fact, in the tales told at the School of the Bear, never heard one spoken of with a wingspan like this, with a body from tip to tail quite this long. It casts a shadow even in night because of the illumination that it possessed. It is a demon come to earth. Anfra, what do you do?
I promised, and I keep my promises. She looks out at the people around and sighs and shakes her head and brings Frostfang in front of her and lets the waves of ice expand even further. And it's a lot more ice. It's a lot longer lasting. And it takes a lot more out of her, but she's running, and she's gonna run straight through these assholes and let it hit them as she does so. So they need to roll a dodge.
Okay, they're going to get their attacks off first because they are first in the order, but I knew that you had something in mind, so I wanted to make sure that as you run forward, the three kind of pounce on you. For 18, each of them will have struck 4 and with an 18. So you have to go through your defenses first as these three fall on you, but they are well within your proximity.
Okay. Well, she's gonna try and parry one. The first one. 15. She's gonna get hit by one.
8 damage into your chest.
Better. She is bleeding profusely, but she is still standing. Hey, Greg.
Yep.
Can I try a different type of magical defense?
It's a conversation. Yes, let's have a conversation. But let me turn on my thinking music. Different type of... Sell me on it.
She hates getting bit by things, and we know that she likes to not walk into the middle of things, and first of all.
Okay.
So, I'll spend the extra stamina to count the extra action if I can try and teleport the fuck away from these guys. As a dodge, sort of.
I like that. I like that idea. What's your current stamina?
20.
Okay. I believe teleport's 10 anyway, correct?
Unless I can roll high enough to split it.
Okay, well, the devil's bargain is you can't roll to split it.
Okay.
I will take the 10 and then the 3 to kind of jump ahead. We'll say that you kind of did, because in initiative order, you could do a quick action, which would give you burn 3 for a negative, kind of like a quick draw. So I'll take 3 stamina from you if you wanted, for a grand total of 13 stamina.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. As she is severely bleeding profusely. And roll for the teleport.
Sure, yeah.
For 24.
Okay.
She just wants to go right about here.
Okay, hold on. You want to go here? Is that what you're... I gotta need...
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, I need to... I will let you go right to there.
Cool. Hey, Greg?
If you tried to get any closer, you ran into a wall.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Swallow has just come into you from Pope as well.
Thank you, Pope.
Let me turn back on my battle music. Our negotiations have finished.
Keep it on standby.
Yeah, keep it on standby. Yeah, totally.
Maybe the line of the campaigns. Keep the negotiation music on standby, Greg. All right, I'm sorry. So you have made it to this position. I will tell you this. The bowcasters have the ability to pick a target at this point. I need you to roll stealth to see if you were detected as to where you went. Even though it wasn't too far away, still, they're not looking everywhere at once. I will rule there. Yeah, can I get stealth from you, Ainfra?
Yeah, you can get stealth. It's not gonna go well.
You never know.
It went well enough.
It went well enough. As they lost track of you and are picking alternate targets.
It's okay. I'm about to make myself real obvious again.
Okay, so we'll pick right back up there with you, but we are... Oops, I'm still on. We are going to go back down to the group as everybody gets their attack on. Eris. Wim, we'll get to you in a second. Yannicka, Ezrin, Dusa,
Yes.
you are all going to be attacked
Yes.
with a 21.
Okay.
Yannicka, you only have 1 attacking you.
Do I really?
Dusa has
nice.
Dusa has 2 attacking him, and Ezrin has 1 attacking him. Eris, you have 3 attacking you beneath the waves. Let's go through everybody real quick. Eris, how would you like to move? Remembering you suffer no penalties beneath the waves. Should I turn on my negotiation music? Hold on.
No, not yet.
Not yet. I'm
that
sorry.
comes very soon. Don't worry.
Okay.
So the one who currently is internally on fire, and I have already stabbed. I'd like to parry, and then the other 2 I'll dodge.
Gotcha.
So be a parry for I've got to get the parry just right.
Massage the parry.
For a 31.
That will work. And so this would also stagger our friend beneath the waves. So he's burning and staggered.
Mm-hmm.
Not prone. What is that's throwing up? I gotta learn these. That's fire. Oh, hey, we do have a fire. There we go. Staggered.
Oh, and he takes damage at the beginning of his turn, I believe, because he's on fire.
He's burning. Yes, he's currently experiencing the cooling effects of the dock while burning inside.
Love it. So that is a Dodgerino. Can't touch this.
You have dodged.
And that is a second Dodgerino. Can't touch this.
So, in your natural habitat beneath the waves, Eris, you perfectly parry, seemingly not hindered by the water's friction at all, and you're able to move even defter than the drowners who call this place home.
It's the beggar tick, man. There's so much of it in the water. Like, Yannicka, like, set the stage, and I'm like, oh, that's a huge... Yeah, I'm in there.
Take a bath in the beggar tick. Let's go to Ezrin. Ezrin, you have one on you. What would you like to do?
I will parry. I just feel like there's something else going on here with Eris, but it's fine. It's fine.
Hush, babushka. Hush.
All right. I will try to parry this villain. 20. And they rolled an 18, is that right?
They rolled a 21.
I get hit. Tell me where.
I will let you know.
No. You got the shield, buddy.
But that doesn't stop hits, right?
Yes, it does. That's why it's there.
I'm just figuring out what the damage will be that is applied to the Quen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, 11 damage would be applied to the Quen.
Okay. So that's 19 left.
And then with that, we go to Yannicka. Yannicka, you have one on you.
Okay, cool. Let me just dodge that, please. Yeah, I did.
Absolutely. Dodged it, you did. Whim, you have no one on you right at the moment. Roll me an awareness, though.
Just on a whim.
On a whim.
Keep him coming.
It lasted all of season 1 before we got that, by the way.
How?
Billy, as Whim looks up, kind of climbing up the side, just as you are, again, 3 to 5 feet from the lip, climbing and clawing up, you see a face look over the edge, trying to figure out a couple things. You're not sure if this is a bit meta, but one, what happened to Jimmy who just got thrown off the roof? And two, he was fairly certain he saw a huge, formerly furry person jump across and hit the building and then nothing. And so you see a face come over the edge and the eyes go wide as he is getting ready to say something. But again, they lost you in this as well. Welcome in, Raiders. We're playing a little bit of Witcher here from Artausorian Games. If you're just stopping by for a second, do yourself a solid, hit !PDF and enter into our drawing for a PDF of the core rulebook, and hit a little retweet there and help out our players. Otherwise, sit back and have some fun and welcome in Mike and the wonderful people over at Unmade Gaming. So you see that in front of you, Wim. Dusa, you have 2 on you. What do you do as they attack each with a 21?
So, since Dusa is the source of this shield, he doesn't want to dodge because he doesn't want to remove that. Actually, he could get back into position after dodging. Okay, so he will dodge and one dodge and parry.
Okay, first one, whatever order you want to do, just let me know.
Okay, we'll start with the dodge, which I am. First. Yes, it's just so many. All right.
Heck
That's a
yeah.
critical.
That is definitely going to work. Yep.
Yeah, the adrenaline's kicking in there.
Dusa only rolls crits, either high or low, one way or the other.
Yes, it's tragic sometimes.
Well, he's called double crits.
That's all right.
Oh, there
That
we
is
go.
true.
I want to roll the double. And then the parry, that's a swordsmanship, right? Oh,
Mhm.
God. I feel like this is a test. Here it is. Because it's the final one for this season. And that's a 17 plus 4, 21.
21 goes to the defender as you are able to save yourself and condemn this gentleman to the staggered condition, which is that one with the circle.
With that great flaming sword, yes.
So boom, you knock its arm back and it's kind of moves for a second as it's unable to orient itself. And it is at that point that we are going to have 4 arrow shots come in.
Oh God.
2
Yeah.
at Dusa, 1 at Yannicka, and 1 at Ezrin. So all of the attacks are going to be worth
Okay.
19. So these shots come in, 2 at Dusa, 1 at Ezrin, 1 at Yannicka, as the twing, twing, twing bowstrings plunk off of the nearby rooftop.
Rude.
Is it a thing that we can like parry those?
Parry arrows. If you have that
Yeah.
ability, you can absolutely do that.
Oh, if I have the ability. Okay.
Yeah.
In the Witcher.
I don't have
Yeah.
it. No. I don't have that one. Okay, that's a dodge. That's a fumble. See? It's critical or fumble for me.
It's
just how I
double
go.
crits. You get one way or the other.
Yes. I'm not going to call myself double fumble, though. Okay, so that's one fumbled dodge and another dodge as he's dancing on this deck here.
Okay, so
That's a
Ezrin
22.
also failed, so 25 damage would be done to the Quen shield. You do dodge the
So
second
it's
one.
gone.
Okay.
Shatters.
Was there any bleed over from that?
There's bleed over, six hit points bleed over.
Okay, does that let me see. We're just gonna say that pierce anybody's armor? Okay. Then it bounces off of the helmet of Ezrin. There's a dink as it
If it's the helmet, then it does pierce. 'Cause I've got-
What?
okay,
'cause my
then
helmet's only 5.
then it bounces off your chest plate. I'm not going to roll for it to see it.
Not just yet.
No, you take triple damage.
Okay, yeah,
And
you're-
then you
you're
die.
dead.
Thanks. Oh. What? Oh.
And then did you roll a dodge, Lindy?
I figured we should do the Quinn stuff first. So
Yep.
yeah, dodge.
Oh, gold.
22.
22.
Nah.
So as these arrows hit all around you, and we go back
I
up.
get a little reminiscent of another time where humans have shot arrows at me repeatedly. It's fine.
We go back up to Ainfra. What would you like to do?
Well, she was planning on freezing everybody in front of her because she did that, but then she moved. And now she's exactly where she wants to be. To say, fuck you, Cal. And rolls to dispel the damn portal.
You
And she just brings both of her staffs out and just crosses them and shoves them out.
roll me a magical
portal.
training.
But what I can dispel. Fine. $18. Oh, I rolled a 2.
You remember as you teleported feeling that something
Mhm.
you can cast. You're not sure what that something was.
If she has to, she'll dispel everything in 10-meter radius.
Yes.
She needs to take that portal out. And so I'm gonna roll this first. Whew. Made that. How did I? What's that? Oh. What is? Oh, yeah. About that. So she succeeds on her expanded magic, which means that now the magic is channeling through both of her staves simultaneously. And it just kind of lights up as she tries to dispel the portal in front of her. And to do that, I need to roll above whatever she rolled or he rolled to cast it. Which is a 32.
You cast. Everything seems to be proceeding according to plan. Dispel, by its very nature, is invisible. It's not a wave of force. Perhaps casters can see, their own weavings of the dispelling of magic. But unfortunately, the only person that could probably help you decipher what's going on here is beneath the water. As your magic rushes forward and out of you, it hits this wall and it slows down. And it slows down. And it slows down as if it's going through mud.
Oh.
And then it just stops.
She wants to play it that way? Fine. I'm just gonna move. Well, I think I'm gonna move and try and hide a little bit.
Yeah, if you'd like to, roll me a stealth. Actually, roll me an awareness first.
Awareness, regular awareness, or magical training awareness?
Awareness, just regular.
I have to make sure it's.
Oh, right.
19.
What? You didn't pop up there. Come on now.
Oh.
I can't fit him in. We'll put him right there.
He's just so big.
That's bad.
Does that look like
that's
the golem?
good.
No, does that look like the golem I saw in Ananias' shop?
You turn around and
Okay,
you
that's
see one of these massive golems from Ananias' shop as it turns and looks at you, recognizing the order that was given. And as you roll to hide or do whatever you'd like here, you can give me a stealth roll. Your stealth roll consists of using the golem to hide behind. I'm assuming. I don't want to take your agency away. But yeah, Big Lovin' is here.
Big, large metal thing? I'll hide behind that. I'll try and hide behind that.
Sure. Very low DC for the stealth here, but I mean, if you want to roll it, go ahead in case, of course, there's an awful fumble.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks. I appreciate you. It's a 15.
Yeah, you disappear behind Big Lovin'.
Thank you.
Let us go beneath the waves. Eris, as you are in the middle of combat, you realize that Tears has gone quiet. And she knows what's going on. She knows that you're fighting for your life, but you seem to be doing well. She doesn't seem or feel concerned. That empathy, that synergistic bond that floats between the two of you isn't carrying with it trepidation or fear. But you feel a longing. That's my stone.
Hey Greg, remember when I said, keep on hand?
Negotiation music is on.
Fantastic. I would like to move. Now you see just here,
I do
because
see it.
of this incredibly detailed map, which I must compliment by the way, which is fantastic. not a plug. I see that there is a raised lip beneath the water. So
There is.
from where I am, would I be able to swim there, take up like a step up and jump up onto the edge of the docks?
Show me exactly where you want to jump up to.
I want to jump from like here to like here.
Yes.
Okay. So I have an unreasonable amount of movement. I think is how I would describe.
Yes, you've sacrificed a lot to have this movement, and
Yes.
movement you have, yes.
Yes. Like in my stat block, there's not a number, it just says unreasonable. So I hop and a skip and I'm out of the water. And Greg, that is a tiled roof. Again, noticeable by how beautiful and dynamic this map is. I must compliment you. So, question, like,
I was about to get into the house construction stuff. I appreciate this.
my old
Keep on.
my old man was a builder, and something they teach you is if everything weighs on like the slats, like if you knock out like the slats,
They slide. Yeah.
it's trouble. Yeah. So odd. I just odd really hard. The most hard you ever did see at the roof, and I want to bring all the archers down to play with me. And maybe the drowners too. Like, I'm fine with them coming. Like, they can follow me. Like, it's a party over here on this side of the map. Greg, what do you think of that?
I like it. I like it quite a bit. I like how you've come up with all of this. And I appreciate a good in-combat negotiation. Don will tell you that I'm a big fan of that. He probably isn't, but I am, because of my constant bitching. Okay, tell me how you want to do this.
So, seeing this, feeling that, knowing I have a deal that I've got to do one thing before me and her can do the thing. Because I made a deal, I made another deal, and I made a deal with Wim. And that was, I'm going left, he's going right. He's gone right. I'm going left. I have to take these archers before me and Tears can handle a personal score. So he's these drowners here, and like, just for flavor's sake, I want to grab the one who's like molten core in his gut currently, and turn and like grab him and use the laws of physics to basically like slingshot myself as I throw him towards his friends, swim past him, and just in one move foot against that sort of bottom part, come up, and before I'm even clear, I'm starting to say the word odd, breathing water as I say it, and I hurl my hand up and just want to see if I can hit sort of like as a shock wave and sort of like create a cascade effect to just bring all of these things crashing down. Because the sooner they're on the ground, the sooner I can play whack-a-mole with daggers, and then I can get on with the business of, yo, bitches, that's our stone over there. And you've given me a shortcut. That's all you've done. You think you've done yourself a favor. Believe me, I know the tricks of this. And I'm holding that dagger in my hand. I'm going to give him a surprise. That is where I'm at, but I got to do this first. This is my checklist.
Okay. I tell you what, roll your spell casting, and we're going to go this straight old DC. We're going to do the 12, 15, 17, 20, and then real fun stuff.
Okay. I'm spending all 3 of my luck.
Okay.
And
plus 4 for, oh, you like that silver.
yeah. So oh wait. Okay, so spellcasting yet?
Please.
Basic roll.
Mm-hmm.
24.
The ard hits, and you see tiles begin to, as they begin to move, almost like someone pulling a sheet off of a table laden with dishes and goblets and feasts aplenty. And as they begin to move, I will make one roll for all of them. Let's see.
They all get hit in the head with tiles as they land and KO themselves.
With 11, they all fall down into a heap as the ground beneath them leaves. And as they all hit, they suffer 11 damage, one of them breaking a leg in what you can only assume is a lot of places, as they all smash on top of one another, hitting the tile, hitting the loose bracings and rafters and elements of what used to be their footholds. They come crashing down into a heap in front of you. And as the tiles break and the masonry creates its own swirl of dust and particles, similar to what your brother created with ash and soot spark and icy shattering, you have created with the man-made elements of this particular part of the city. His nature to your urban. And as you do this and watch them crash with whatever kind of feeling Eris would have, you look over and you see at about right here, Tears is walking towards the portal.
Do I still have movement, or is that my movement counted for, like...
You have movement.
I would like to run over to her. I'm fine. Like, if I need to acrobatics to navigate, that's fine. But there appear to be stairs here, so I would like just jump and then run that little distance.
My friend, who has the stone? Was it her?
He does. Right? Because you keep that on lock, right, Eris?
She has the stone.
Eris, you get about right here, and you smash into something.
I have in my possession something.
You do.
That I'm holding in my right hand. Does it not have the same effect?
It has been tempered. It has been
Okay.
touched. But, roll for me a resist magic.
Other than the silver, any modifiers, or is it just...
Straight up. You're moving, but it's like a nightmare. You're where as fleet of foot as someone like Eris is, with the movements in the alleyways as you rush to your brother's aid. Now it's as if you are trudging through transparent mud, just a slog. And Tears is walking, her arms at her side. She looks back at you, and you see the red dots coming off of her eyes. It's my stone.
I just shout to her. We go together. That's our deal. This life and the next.
You see her left arm reach back for you, but she's still drifting towards the portal. Come with me. Ezran.
Negotiation music is still on?
It is
Yeah.
now. It is now.
Okay, cool. So I've got a speaking thing I want to do, but that's just a speaking thing. That doesn't take up, any time. But I have a negotiation thing with you, and I'm going to ask you to I'm going to float a rules thing that does not exist.
My favorite type of rule.
Yeah. So there is a skill in the book called tactics, and I have that skill. The description of that skill is anticipating enemy movements and planning accordingly. And then it talks about how you can lead people. But if you search the PDF, which I recommend, and there's also a giveaway for it, it's pretty awesome. The skill tactics is only used for one thing in the entire book, and that is to play Gwent. Gwent is not gambling, it's tactics. However, it says that what it's for is to anticipate enemy movements and planning accordingly. Thus far in the combat, Ezran, our prince, leader of men, and a person who's fought in wars before, has only been basically observing the scene, seeing what's around us and what is going on. I would like to posit, perchance, that having a tactics skill as well as having the command skill, which gives bonuses to people, as well as also leadership, that perchance we might be able to invent some sort of a rule that would allow me to use the tactics skill in some kind of a way that would give a benefit to the party by looking at the skills wording, anticipating enemy movements, and planning accordingly. Would there be some way that I might be able to use this skill in an undocumented fashion to help the party in some way? I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility.
I believe so.
Like some kind of a bonus to the team by give up my action by scoping the things out and giving them knowledge. If I roll well.
Roll.
Just
Please. I didn't mean that to sound so brutally commanding. Please roll.
Thank you. Tactics is super expensive because tactics is also a hard skill, so it's super, super expensive. So one would hope that, maybe you could do something with it. That's a fumble. It is a fumble. It's not to be, everyone. It was not to be. 10.
Okay.
So I will take my action, which is that I'm going to sort of, I have been looking at one thing. So I'm going to basically not take an action this turn because I think that that's a failed tactics roll. So I am surveying the scene, right? Because I've been trying to figure out what's going on, where's everybody moving, what's happening, what is the situation we're all in. And as I'm scoping the scene, I see Kel Hello, and I recognize that it's her, and I know that she's kissing someone that is familiar to me, but I don't know who it is. And my
roll an awareness.
Oh. 21.
This person is extremely familiar to you. It's very difficult to place because it has been so very long. But as you are watching, seeing them together, seeing their silhouettes together, seeing how they complement one another, it takes you back. It takes you one time long ago, 200 years in fact, there was a prince. One was named Ezran, and a second prince who was named Pavmir. Pavmir was very jealous of Ezran. He had the best lands. He had the trade route. He had Kel. This is a man that should be long dead. But Ezran, as your eyes meet his, you see the telltale glow of a witcher.
I will say something, and I will not have an action because clearly I am distracted by this moment and this revelation, so that any kind of action that I would do that might be about leadership is not on the table at the moment. I am too distracted by this. And I see them and I recognize this man. I recognize the man who orchestrated the murder of my family. The man who came to my home under the pretense of a meeting for guest right, and brought his retinue, and that retinue stabbed my mother and my siblings and killed everyone around me. And this man that caused me to put my son in hiding, that caused the death of a babe in the guise of my son, that sort of caused all of this. This man, this Cairngorm, is standing with my truest love. And I will say,
wait. Before you get a chance to say anything,
we'll see.
Yannicka, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm cold being shot at and there are drowners, so I would like to shank a drowner, please, because they're the closest threat, and she's a simple gal.
Absolutely.
So. Fast strikes. And you know what? I'll aim for the torso this time. We don't have time for leg shots and half damage.
Gotcha. It's only -1.
Yeah. Yeah, they're drowners. It's fine. So, nah. Torso. Nah. Okay. 24 and a 25.
Fantastic. This is a dodge for any or everybody that you want.
Yep. Two different ones.
14, so you're going to crit
yeah,
on both
probably
of these.
the unfrozen one and then the next frozen one. Just next to each other, you know, just make a nice little blood parade. Okay. Boom. Whew. Bringing the peace. That's more like my damage rolls. And then let's see, did they bleed? Or do they need to bleed?
The first one will shatter and the second one will shatter. You tell me how it happens and which ones you want shattered.
She's there's a lot of odds against her, and now she's being shot at by humans, which really makes her unhappy. So she just kind of, I think, looks at them, shank, and then kind of starts to turn away from the second one as she just goes straight for, like, you know, right for the heart. Just stab, and then looks to see humans on the rooftops. And she's gonna, now that she's cleared a nice path, she might pull out her bow next round, but we'll see. You know what? I have the stamina right now. I say this, I might regret it later. I'm gonna spend 3 and stab 2 more, because why not? Why not? Let's just kill some more drowners, shall we?
I love it. I couldn't love it anymore.
Same dealio.
Same dodge, 14. So.
Okay, and this one is an extra action. Yes, I clicked that on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Yes, that's the weapon. Torso. Submit. No. Nope, not head. Torso. Crit, which I will roll. That's a 37, Greg.
Yeah.
Okay. stab, stab, and then if that first one doesn't die, let's
That's
see how much it
23
bleeds.
damage.
Yeah. 14 damage on one, 23 on another, and if it doesn't kill either of them, here's some bleed. That's
Oh no, don't worry about it.
that's
It kills
5
him.
points of bleed. Okay, cool. Yeah. So she just gets like stab, stab, looks, squints, goes stab, stab, and then like kind of squares up a little bit. She's clearing some area.
I got into
She
it.
really loves arteries.
Right.
Like I just feel like
She
Yana's like
does.
I've never met an
She's-
artery I didn't like
You know,
to stab.
she's like, you know, she would appreciate Jackson Pollock art. That's all I'm gonna say.
I got into an interesting conversation as a tangent on Reddit with somebody that said it's not that you can't do any damage in the Witcher game if you're not playing a Witcher, and I said I don't believe that. So,
have you tried playing a doctor? A knowledge of anatomy and physiology can be invaluable at times.
fantastic, my friend. And as you perform what can only be described as surgical drowner slaughter, you have sent 4 on their way.
Gotta clear out the trash before we can get to the humans. Well, I mean, that's more trash. Gotta take out the recyclables before we can get to the trash.
Roll me an awareness as you are covered
thing.
in drowner blood.
Yeah, that's fine. Can't wait to be covered in human blood. 24.
You can see Tears, a wraith, that you potentially have no idea what this is, but this wraith is walking, and you can see it heading towards a portal just across the dock. But if a wraith can be said to be the least interesting part of a scene, for you, Yannicka, this would be as you see your sister waving from inside the portal.
Do I have movement?
Mhm.
Then I'm heading towards the portal, please and thank you.
As the crow flies, or are you taking the land route?
We'll go the land route. I'll lose my beautiful blood splatter if I go through the water. So
You can get about here.
Is there
Great.
a movement rating in feet or meters?
Meters. So she should be able to move 30 feet.
that's
10 meters?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Isn't that about right?
Well, 3 meters is 10 feet.
9,
So
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that would take you right about
Sure.
there.
Yeah, that's good. That's it. That's all I can do. So
Wim, you are climbing up. You saw the...
I look very distracted now. I was like, murder, murder, murder. Distraction.
Wim,
I
you are
feel
at the
that. I
top,
totally
and you
feel
see
that.
that person peeking over. You also saw a dragon, the only one to truly see this beast. What do you do?
All right, so when he sees this gent poking his head over the roof, he's going to make eye contact with him, and this is when he's going to use his action to make a physique check to break the frozen condition.
Okay.
All right. Is that body?
It
All
is.
right, Prax. All right.
I believe it's...
Physique,
isn't
sorry.
it?
Yeah, my bad.
$34 and a critical? Oh my god! Roll it again. Just roll it again. 51.
Okay.
Surely.
Here's what I
He's
want
a
to do with
fine specimen of a man.
this.
That
Hold
is
on,
the
I'm
highest
chubby.
roll we've had in this game, to my knowledge. I don't believe we've
This-
had higher than a 51. Wait, JF, you had a roll in our flashback. Was it a 51? I know it was.
I don't think it was a 51.
It was pretty high.
Yeah.
Okay, with a 51, the floor is yours, my friend. What would you like to do?
So what you're witnessing right now is a large man with like a David Harbour like figure strapped in tight leather armor with like metal placings around all over the place, and he's climbing up this building. Like his fingers are going into the wall, into the bricks, and he's pulling himself up, and he gets to the top of the windowsill, and this archer looks over wide-eyed to see what's going on, and Wim catches this, and he just flexes everything that he has, and the ice shatters over his body, and he grunts with an attempt to intimidate this archer into doing something stupid.
How stupid is he with a 51?
He pisses his pants and runs off in the nearest direction, whether that be off the roof or the easiest way off of the roof and away from wind.
My friend, with a 51, I'll let you grab him and throw him if you'd like.
Okay, yeah. So what? As he reaches over, I flex the ice off. He's frozen in fear for a moment, and he lunges up, and he grabs him with his right arm, and he wants to swing him back into the drowners that are blocking this archway between the golem and his allies. Yep.
He crashes into them directly in front of Yannicka as a falling star bastardized into an archer crashes in front. Now, to paraphrase Dave Chappelle, my favorite comedian, if we took 20 away from that roll, that's still a 31. Those are some strong numbers. You're like the Steph Curry of athletics rolls here, as you
I'll take the Brock Lesnar of collegiate wrestling.
You're the Brock Lesnar of collegiate wrestling.
And then for the remainder of his action, he wants to climb up the rest of the roof. And once he scales the roof and gets up, he stands up very imposingly and looks beneath his brow and looks at everyone else, even though there's a person instructed to throw his friends off, and he'll go, boo.
Roll me an intimidation check. And this is an incredibly low DC, as you have essentially become King Kong.
All right, I'm gonna use 2 luck on. No, I'm not. I wanted to, but I didn't.
You can't do it.
Nope.
They begin to run.
Is the person that Ainfra enchanted still near me, or is he within grabbing distance?
These two run off. We'll take them up here. This guy walks over and doesn't seem scared at all and just says, "These guys, huh?"
I want to grab the lapel of his armor and to get off of this roof. I want to surf on this gentleman down to the ground.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put on my own negotiation music.
Yes, do it.
Okay, so this isn't like surfing. This is like dropping in. This is like skateboarding, where this guy's going to be your board and you are dropping in off of a 20-foot wall, and you just need to hit and keep going. So there's not really the ability to create much friction here as it is to land on somebody. Is that what you're attempting to do?
Yeah, and I want to land where I threw the body. So I want to leap with this body onto a pile of other bodies. Like
doing an ollie,
the drowners and
Yes.
the person I threw into
This
there.
is
So
beautiful. This is
there's,
art.
This is the search for animal chin right here. Okay, I need you to make me one more athletics roll, just because I feel like I need to ask you for a roll.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll burn that 2 luck on this one. Okay.
I love the fact you're like, I have to justify this man's death. Roll.
Not really, but
Please crush the other human with this human's spine. That would make me so happy.
okay. So let's take this from Yannicka's point of view. Yannicka,
Oh yeah, I get a front stage pass to this human slaughter. I'm about this. Let's go.
And Lindy, I'm not saying that this is how Yannicka feels. This is just the
Yes.
witnessing, or
Oh.
even how
Even
much that
scary.
she truly, even how much that she truly sees, because she's focused on her sister. So I'm not. This
Uh-huh.
is just the events that transpire in your cone
She
of
always has
vision.
an eye on the humans. You can't
Right.
trust them. They're shifty.
You see 3 drowners standing there. All of a sudden, a human crashes into the 3 drowners, and there is a mangled body of limbs and pain. And then there's Wim. Wim standing on what looks like a amalgamation, a hay bale of meat. You're not sure exactly what was beneath Wim, if there was ever anything beneath Wim.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know there's
whatever,
humans on that roof.
right, whatever is there now bears no resemblance to either Archer or Drowner.
Wim would receive a slight, sister, slight glimpse of artful appreciation back to sister, which is high praise for her.
Yeah, I suppose that's really all I can ask for.
And we will put...
Do I get any more blood splatter on me from that?
Yeah, I got to get rid of all of this
Okay.
now.
But the corpses are still there for the grabbins, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like sifting through hamburger meat. It's delightful.
Just a little bit of blood splatter, extras, like extra blood splatter.
Okay. Do so. What would you like?
Wasn't it Ezrin first? No? Okay, I don't know.
We're going to pick back up with
I'm
Ezra.
on pause.
Okay.
On pause.
Yeah, I see. Because, well, the first things first, that active shield, when it went, was supposed to have an effect. And that effect was to push everybody around me, my adversaries, 2 meters. So I believe some drowners are in the water, possibly.
You blast them all back into the water.
When the shield kind of explodes, and then they get a 1d6, which I'll roll just for the heck. That's two. So now that the coast is clearer, he's gonna grab Ezrin's arm and tell him let's go.
Is that all you would like to do?
Well, he's gonna, let's see, what's left here. Okay, is there any sign of Jeffers anywhere?
Roll me an awareness.
All right, he's gonna take a look around then, because that's the other thing on his mind right now. God.
You don't see anything, but you smell beggar tick. Now again, you're surrounded by a harbor filled with beggar tick. You had that almost, physical reaction as you walk down to the harbor. So, but again, just the thought of Jeffers and the smelling of beggar tick almost seems a mockery.
Right. Yeah, they're all around. I'll head over to Yannicka.
Okay.
If I have the move for that, let's see. It's a 21 run. I just don't know. Ah, yeah. He's gonna head there. And
Am I brought along with?
I'm gonna try to bring you with me.
I'll let you bring him.
All right, good. Good. Okay. And so now there's the golem there. Jeez. Okay, well that's not looking so bad here. Where's Kelhello? Do I see her?
You do not.
I do not. I just see these drowners, that portal, and the golem, right?
Correct.
And the archers.
When I get a chance to say something, I will
Okay.
point out where they are.
Right. But this is all happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Right
Okay.
before-
So the idea here is to regroup, bring Ezrin, get an active shield going with Ezrin, and I'm gonna pump. This time, I'm gonna pump the maximum amount for me at this point is 6 vigor and stamina. Sorry, and that's what's going in. This is a powerful shield, the most powerful he can do.
And as you create the shield, and as everybody, Anfra is hiding behind the golem, as Eris is attempting to move through this malaise, as Wim has landed, as Yannicka sees her sister, and as Ezrin prepares to speak, all of this boils down to one moment. On the rooftops, Susie Midnight and the Urchin Marines explode, beginning to fire slings and short bows at the remaining archers on the roof. A pitchfork-driven militia begins to approach the dock, their torches bouncing light off of the wet cobblestones. A light rain begins to fall. But as this rain begins to fall, and just as Ananias pulls himself up into what is the harbor master, the pilot's shack here at the edge of the dock, time freezes. Except for Ezrin. Fleck? Fleck! You see Gaunter O'Dim appear beside you.
Oh no.
I still can't find that dog.
And I just say what I was about to say because
Yes, absolutely.
right, like the things freeze, but I'm mid about to speak, right? So the speech finishes, and I just say, "Pavmir!" And then I realize everything is frozen, and I'm.
It is time.
Pray tell, for what?
This is the end.
Do not understand what you mean.
Your sorceress, she has shown you before the waters. What can be beneath what has been. And he begins to spin his finger, and you see in the harbor's water a scene mirrored before you. The dragon reappears, breathes fire down as Eris is trying to get to the portal. You see him burning, still moving forward, still trying to get to Tears. You see the rest of your friends in the open, suffering from this blistering heat. They do not fall from that. It is the 12 faceless, glowing-eyed witchers that appear from the buildings beside, that rush out. They kill Ainfra, Yannicka. They drag Wim and Dusa down as Eris burns. You told me that when the time came for you to sacrifice yourself, friends, that I would allow you to do it.
This cannot be. What must I do to stop this?
not mean to say this with malice, but only a beast can get to the stone.
I do not understand.
You must go into the stone, and it will take you somewhere. It is time, my friend. I will fulfill my promise and allow you to save them all.
I understand what you mean. Do I have a moment before this all begins again?
You do not.
But a second.
You do not. I am sorry, my friend.
He takes his second innie when he takes his sword. And he places it in Deuce's hand, who is frozen. The sword that is the symbol of his house and his honor. And then he reaches into the bag and he says, "With this moment I am undone and I'm worth of nothing." And he takes the ash, breaking his honor and all that he is. He says, as he begins to transform, "I'm worth no one, follow me now." And all of his bones crack and break as he begins the transformation, the brutal transformation into a catachan. And as he does, tears fall down his face as he breaks his oath to his knight.
Gaunter stays with you, and everything is still frozen, but for the very first time, you see a bead of sweat run down the side of Gaunter O'Dim's cheek. It is more difficult than I thought. I cannot get you closer. You must go yourself, my friend.
And I will lope towards the portal, looking at all of my friends as I move towards it, passing by them. In some ways, glad they cannot see my shame as I move toward it. And I say, telepathically, because that is what I do now, I take it that I must destroy the place of power.
No,
as before.
you just must pass into it.
And I'm able to pass in before Tears does?
How much stamina do you have left? More than 25?
25 is my max. That is the most stamina that I have when I'm at 24.
You hit a wall. And as you begin to move closer, you're getting near to where Tears happens to be, but you're side by side and you appear to be moving at the same speed. And you drop to a knee as there's a weight that is over you, a heaviness that you've never experienced in this form. And
I have the skill Resolute as a noble. I am a person who I have added value to courage and risk coercion. I'm a person of great resolve. I feel as if my duty and my resolve should push me over the edge to get there before her.
Make me a roll.
Courage or resist coercion?
I like courage.
Okay. And this gets a +5 because of my resolute.
And a +4 for
26.
Here's how this materializes. As you drop to a knee and then to an elbow, feeling this weight against your back as it drives you into the stone, the images of what is to come, of this place burning, your friends burning, drugged down by false witchers, Kelhollow in the arms of a lover. You feel the weight until two hands reach down and pull you up. And your son is with you. Father.
Ezekon.
Together.
And I clap my misshapen and spindly, desiccated fingers, monstrous fingers, on his shoulder. Both taking support from him and also supporting him.
As you share in this support, father leaning on son, son leaning on father, you begin to take a step and another. You pull even with tears. You take the lead. You begin to see things as your son is with you. His life essence bleeds. You can see the life that he lived that you weren't there for, but you are now. Both you and Yannicka see Ezekon buying an elven bowl from a trader along the road. Seems to be autumn. Leaves are changing behind him. He examines the bowl and smiles, pays the trader and wraps it in a fine cloth. He tags it with a bit of string and reed. It says, for Yannicka. Ezrin, both you and Eris see Ezekon panting on the ground, covered in blood, some his own, some his enemies, surrounded by the fallen form of 4 Nilfgaardian assassins. Slowly, the old witcher pulls himself up. He stands along the shore of Skellige, and he looks inland, smiling. He removes a charcoal rendering from the pocket of one of the assassins, and it holds the likeness of Eris. He puts it into his pocket, smiles, and limps off. Ezrin, both you and Dusa see Ezekon upon his horse as the snow blows around a valley, one very familiar to Dusa. In the distance, a modest cabin seems warm and inviting, cabin of a hunter. Ezekon smiles and wheels his horse in a different direction, and he whispers into the cold wind, "Enjoy your retirement, my brother." Ezrin, both you and Wim see Ezekon writing in a journal. For 5 years, he dutifully pens at least one daily question, conversations that he never had with Wim. Talking about the weather, a particularly fine day, beautiful hawk he saw when riding in the North Country. All the things he wanted to share, all the things he wanted to remember to say when they spoke next. Both Ezran and Anfra see Anfra and Ezekon dancing cheek to cheek across the decades. You see the old Witcher use Yarden to give his bad leg the semblance of grace, or so he said. But somehow, two of you realize he was just using the sign to slow down the seconds, make them last. You see Ezekon alone in the wilderness camping. He stands up, and beside the fire he dances by himself, humming the same song as when he danced with Anfra. Ezran, you see your son watching you from afar. For days, weeks at a time as you roam the earth as a catachan. You see him bloodied and battered, his arm weak and in a sling. He drinks a potion and pulls back a bush, revealing a dark half cave. His old battered form crawls inside, and you see yourself as a sleeping, trance-like catachan. He lowers his broken body down beside yours. Father and son.
May
Then-
I ask, as we travel through his life, do I see his first steps?
Instead, you see a crib. And you see Elizabeth above it. She is holding a frost-covered staff, the same that Anfra now wields. He, as a babe, watches as his mother creates crystals in the air, spinning and making him smile. And then you see Ezekon as the old Witcher, kneeling before his mother as a wraith. You see her ghost-like hand indicate a hidden nook, and it reveals the staff. You watch as he puts a reed tag around it that says, "For my love." And then you are at the portal. You are through it. You are in a cave before a stone. It's time, Father.
I hope they remember me.
You see tears rolling from his eyes. I had to go.
But now we are together.
I can't go with you. They have me.
Who?
Wizard. They have me in a stone.
Where is this stone? I will find it, and I will free you. If I can.
All in good time, Father. Go on. They'll find you. I know that they will. Like I did.
And I take my elongated limbs, and I will just reach out to him, sort of claws coming forth, and I will pull him into the tenderest hug that I can.
He falls into it, returns the hug, looks up at you, and points behind you to the stone. That old dim fella said he would take care of the rest, so just, I hope I see you again.
As do I. Son, I'm sorry that I missed your life.
You were always with me.
And looking back at him one last time, I will approach the stone and look. In the last stone we were at, there was like some kind of dust or thing that had been powering it that Whim had disturbed. And I will look to see if there is something that may be disturbed.
There is no dust on this stone, but it feels comforting, warm.
And then I shall touch it and reach out.
You slip through the stone. It's pulling you in, not with a jerk, but with like the embrace of a fine bed. And that dreamlike quality that followed you whenever you roamed before the centuries as the Catacan dulls your senses again, but you can still see your friends, your son, as you slip through the surface of the stone.
And I just look at my son as long as I still have sense. I love you, son. As I slip away, saying to him now the last thing I said to him before he died.
You can see him mouth the words back, but he too is drawing, turning insubstantial. And then he is gone. Gontaro Dim walks along the dock. Another bead of sweat comes down the corner. He looks up and he sees the frozen dragon as it approaches. He sees the Wraith as she attempts to go through the portal. 12 inches, 11, 10, 9. Yeah. Can fulfill a lot of favors today. And as the sweat goes down, a tear joins it out of the corner of his eye, mingling the two drops. Well now, let's go somewhere more pleasant. The rest of you open your eyes. Where the dock was before, the sea or the river breeze coming off the water, gone. A massive city stretches before you, one you would all immediately recognize as Novigrad. There's a strange man standing with you, one that Whim and Dusa would recognize as Gontaro Dim. He sniffs loudly. Well, Ezrin is somewhere. Even I do not know where. But what you need is in here somewhere. The city of Novigrad. They have started their own school. Strangely enough, only you can stop it. You, friends of the fallen, family. How poetic. And he turns on his heel and starts to walk off. And as he walks off, he yells, "Fleck! Fleck! Where is that dog?" And that is where we will end season 1 of The Witcher.
I have a question.
Yeah.
As we come back to ourselves in front of Novigrad. Thanks, Greg. Does Ainfer remember what literally just happened? Did she see that?
You remember everything that dealt with you. So
Cool.
Ezra and Anfra remembered the dance. Ezra and Wim remembered the journal.
Okay.
Ezra and Eris remembered the... But if it was specific to another player character, you did not remember it.
No. Just for her. As she realizes she is not where she's supposed to be and not anywhere near where she wanted to be. And everything is not right. And she's still bleeding profusely.
And Dusa, you would in fact have Ezran's sword.
Ainfra loses it.
She's not the only one.
But the difference between Yannicka losing it and Ainfra losing it is the storm that erupts around her. And she's got enough of it to keep control that it stays on her. But she literally falls to the ground crying.
Yannicka also falls to the ground, but with like an ear-piercing scream, and then proceeds to stab/beat the pavement because emotions.
It just looks like a snowstorm and a cyclone erupts around Ainfra, and then she passes out.
Let's go around and talk and see what is the reaction of all the characters as we see this between Yannicka and Ainfra. What about Wim, Eris, and Dusa, our Witchers? What do you do?
Wim will have seen, he didn't know about all of the stuff that he was writing him over their 5 years of not being able to communicate. So it'll affect him in a way, but his legs don't give out and his torso doesn't quiver. You see where he has the knuckles on his fingers, you'll see them clench until the peaks of every knuckle become white, and then he'll furrow his brow and then like a forceful frown, and it looks like if you were to just glance at his face that he would be withstanding like a 70-mile-per-hour gust of wind, and he's trying to work through that moving forward, but he doesn't move at all.
Eris and Dusa.
Yeah, Dusa will look at this sword, the sword of Ezran, disbelievingly. City, that guy, the GOD, realizing that Ezran is gone, he'll kneel and look at himself in that sword in the reflection, remembering that Ezekon asked him to win, and he's thought a lot about what that meant. And he realizes that without Ezran, he does not know how. And with that, he'll put his face into his hands and just shriek.
Eris.
He stands there quietly for a moment. Last thing he remembers is pushing against that weight. And he casts his eyes looking for her.
She's there.
He lets both his blades fall to the ground. And for a moment, there's a moment of deja vu. Both his blades stuck in the ground, her there. This pressure that he felt seeing Ezekon again. He just holds out a hand towards her, looks for her eyes, prays to whatever gods or profane powers there are in this world, that he doesn't see that eerie red glow, that he sees her eyes.
You don't. But you see sadness. She looks north. And that's where we'll end. Unless you have something else, Josh.
He looks north and quietly just says to himself in elder speech, his native tongue, "Mournful is the life that stands between me and it, for I will reap what I seek, and that will be tears."
We pull back from the city of Novigrad. A family of 6, now a family of 5. As we wrap season 1 of The Witcher Family of Wraiths. And so, my friends, let's go around and talk to everybody, see how you are, where we can find you online, and tell us how you are kind, amazing people, and if not, I will. Let's start with JF. JF, my friend, how are you?
I'm all right. This was breathtaking. My first season ever. It's ended with quite a bang. What didn't kill our characters did bring them closer together. Those who made it. Yeah, I've been playing a character that I sort of regard as a Frankenstein in a way, the monster. Engineered by men to kill monsters, he's now turned to killing men. It's been a trip, and when I reflect on everything that this character has done, it's given me a lot to think about. I'm still wondering about the player's history, some of them, some little things, some little secrets. I hope we get there. And looking forward to more discoveries and taking this story further. Thanks so much, Craig.
Hey, fantastic, my friend. Thank you. As we cut down to, let's see. I'm going to go to Josh. Josh, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? Tell us how kind and awesome you are, or I certainly will.
My name is Joshua. You can find me at roleplayers_TV on Twitter and on Twitch. Say that was an episode, not one that I will soon forget, and I am filled with emotion that I do not possess the words to convey to you here on Twitch. All of these guys that I'm playing with at the moment are some of the greatest players I've ever had the pleasure, and they say the privilege to play alongside. They are amazingly talented, bottomlessly generous. They are fantastic in their devotion, and they are uncompromising in their skill and talent and their ability to evoke emotions. And not only that, but to weave a story that I believe genuinely no single individual could put to pen or paper. They are fantastic. So follow all of them, because if not, Aris will find you.
Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. Let us jump over to Lindy. Lindy, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And please tell me how kind and awesome you are. By God, I will.
Full of emotions, Greg. Apostrophe Reg. Yeah, this is what I expect from a Tales from the Grim finale. This is what I expect with playing with such amazing, wonderful people, and just, yeah, emotions and feelings. You know, I didn't think we'd see emotional Yannicka quite so soon, but here we are. Wow, so much happened. So much. I can't even say how many amazing things and just really cool things. 10 points to Billy for people sledding and smashing other people. That I had a deep appreciation for that, and Yannicka did as well. I'm really glad I got to stab some things. It was the catharsis I needed amongst all of this. So thank you for letting me stab things, Greg. That was amazing and fantastic, and I cannot wait to see what story we tell with season 2, where this continues, where this goes, what we learn about each other as a group, because again, we were 6 and now we are 5, and we will miss Trooper terribly, but we appreciate his noble sacrifice to not become dragon jerky. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, where I play in and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. Follow me on Twitter for my regular stuff, but I will specifically plug our once-a-month Aliens campaign is this Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come check it out. Greg guested the past couple episodes, and then he fucked off with some Predator gear, so, you know, it's fine. We won't have to kill him later or anything. Check it out, because if I wasn't already stressed and emotional from this game, I definitely will be by Friday.
Fantastic, my friend. As we drop down to the ever patient, ever calculating Hawk, I will let you know that Ananias is alive, is well, and will return. And I appreciate you staying in the curtains for this one for the most part. I didn't want to get you too far involved, knowing that the possibility for Dragon Kebab was coming. So how are you, my friend? Where can we find you online? And tell everybody how kind and awesome you are. By God, I will.
All right, I'm doing fine. Cancer cleric by day, RPG fanboy by night. If I'm not playing somewhere, I'm usually watching. Had a great time. I enjoyed being the general behind the scenes, sending the cavalry in and everything. And I'm sorry, Greg. I had to find a way around that fire block, and so I had to come up with something.
I loved it. I thought you were going to go on the slide. I thought you were going to take. Yeah.
I hoped you would. I was really
that close. I was that close to thinking about trying to going down with 2 daggers in front of me to make sure I got anything that might be in the way and all that. But I thought, let's go for something a little bit more dramatic and stuff. So anyway, Tuesday nights and Thursday nights on my channel at 6 p.m. I have a couple of different streams going. I have the Lego stream, still doing Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. We've almost got all of the mini kits gathered now. Thursday nights is my weekly Skyrim serial. We're currently in the midst of The Fang and the Claw, where a Dunmer Templar Knight with a little touch of lycanthropy is now a big part of a group of vampire hunters. And then Saturday night, 7 p.m. is Grappler's Keep, where a number of DM, GMs, and RPG players from across the Twitch universe compete in a ring that we lovingly call the Dice Tray. We just had Grapplemania, and we just for our men's and women's championship. Numbers and some of the people here were a part of that. And Greg, I'm sorry to say, you did not make it past the first round.
I know.
You were in a very tough match, but you lost. You lost to the eventual champion. But I want a rematch of my finals against him because we had a lot of WWE interference on this. I'm in the process of getting ready to send my lawyers up against Vince right now because of how he's trying to affect how my belts are. Because he's jealous because he has no live audience and I do. But anyway, you'll find me there on my channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. adjust your time zones accordingly. Otherwise, take care out there. If I'm not playing, I may be lurking and watching in your channel.
Fantastic, fantastic. Brax, my friend, tell me where we can find you online and how awesome and kind you are, or by God, I will.
Okay, I can do that. Thanks, Greg. I want you to know, Greg, I appreciate you and I care about you.
Uh-oh.
Also, the fact that I don't currently wearing non-waterproof makeup is the only reason I'm not currently crying right now. Because that would be a lot.
You'll notice how I went for a no under eye look for this game.
Yeah, I realized that I only had the one mascara left and it was the only one that I had, so quarantine, y'all. Adjust accordingly. But hey, yeah, this was fun. I love all of these players. I love playing with them every week. I love annoying them in the group chat about looking forward to things that will happen or have happened. Thank you, Pope, for not letting Ainfra die. Yeah, that was a close one. We shall see what severely emotionally compromised sorceress in front of Novigrad does. Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate me too.
But as for me, hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter or Praxagorthesmia4 as you see me around Twitch. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, some of the people on this screen are going to show up as we continue our wonderful classics on Twitch look at comedies because someone has asked and I agreed to do Midsummer Night's Dream. So that will be a thing that happens tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, you can find me over on Wandering DM's channel because we're back with our Dragon Age campaign, which I decided I randomly rolled and I went for the full-on trope of the Dalish marksman elf. Because I can. It'll be great. It'll be fun. And Cypher Tanya of Tyr is the DM. It's a great group of people. I think you'll really enjoy it. It is also hilariously funny. We acknowledge that it will be enjoyable. And then Friday, we finish on my channel at 11 a.m. Eastern, our look at comedy with my favorite comedy of all time, my favorite play of all time, and hashtag the thirstiest play in history with Aristophanes Lysistrata. Because I can, people. That's why I do these things. And then Friday night, you can find me on Wandering DM for Cyberpunk. Other than that, check my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be, and I will always be here to cheer everyone on as I try not to die. Still plotting away. I'm going to kill Kel Hollow. It's fine. It's fine.
I'll help.
Fantastic. Billy, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online? And tell everybody how kind and awesome you are, or by God, I will.
Hey everyone, I'm kind and awesome.
Billy's fucking awesome.
Billy is fucking awesome.
There's a lot of quotes there. Yeah, this is a big one. If y'all are still hanging out in chat during the outros, first off, kudos to you for staying through the credits, because y'all the real motherfuckers. Secondly, y'all watched a master class here in GMing and playing across the board. Everyone is able to get perfect amounts of story elements in there, and Greg was weaving it like a magnificent basket for all of us to enjoy. Yeah, that was fucking heavy, y'all. That was so cool. If you are into the social media thing, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill of the Forest. But I implore you to not make our relationship like so many other social media relationships. We just like follow them and like their shit. Fucking message me. Let's be friends, because social media is a fucking bass-ackwards farce of what human relationships should be, and that's connecting with people. So fucking cut it out. Secondly, on Tuesday nights, I'm doing the Simba Room campaign with Greg on WebDM's channel, and then I'll be doing Midsummer tomorrow on Praxis channel at 11 in the morning with my girlfriend who's in the apartment with me. I'm streaming from her apartment. Say hi, Nikki. She gave a woo. I don't know
Tell
if you heard
Nikki
it.
hi for me.
Hey, Nikki.
She's really excited. I'm gonna teach her how to do all that stuff tonight. Yeah, that's it. Be nice to each other. Be there for people. Don't be a divisive dick.
Fantastic, my friend. I couldn't agree more with everything that you've said. And last, but certainly not least, one of my very favorite human beings on the planet, Trooper, please tell us where we can find you and why you are kind and awesome, or by God, I will.
It's true. You are kind and awesome, Greg. That is a true statement, and I'm happy to say what you said that I should say, that you are kind and awesome. It is true. I'll say it again and multiple times. That was a finale of a season, and I'm so excited for next week with season 2, where I sadly will not be there because I am in a dreamlike state of monstrosity. But who knows? Maybe, perchance, I will be saved at some point. It has been an honor to be able to share the table with this crew. And I know that Yannicka and Ezrin will become best friends at some point in time, but right now he's a little busy, I think. Perhaps a little later that will happen. There's a lot to process, and I think that for me, the games that I love the most are the games where in between each episode I have to think like, oh my gosh, what does this mean for my character? What does knowing this now mean? And I have that kind of something to grab onto and chew on, and sort of think about like, what are the implications of this for like who my character is and what that means. And games that give you that is amazing, and players who feed into that, and where I know that I'm thinking, oh, what does this mean for my character and who their interior self is, and then I can think, oh gosh, what does this mean for Yannicka? Oh, what does this mean for, and that for each one of our players, I know that each of my colleagues here have been doing so much work on their characters, and to sort of see all of that like real commitment to the craft is something that is inspiring. And I'm going to say I'm very lucky that I have a keyboard that you can't see that's right here, and I somehow accidentally pushed it forward, which was good, because when I looked down there were tears all over the area where my keyboard had been, and so I did not get tears on my keyboard, luckily. It was an amazing
Best
episode.
in a waterproof one. It's worth it.
Oh, I should do that, right? I'll just do that. I'll get a waterproof keyboard. It'll be fine. But it was great. Thank you. And I'm sad to miss season 2, but hopefully if there's a season 3, I will be able to return for that. And I am found at Trooper SJP on Twitch, Academic Foxhole on Twitter. And I'm currently running a French Resistance campaign on Fridays, super mature, in case you're, it's not the laughs, it's World War II, with the amazing double crits in there playing as our driver and decommissioned soldier. And if you want to catch us on at 7 o'clock on Fridays, please do. But I want to turn it over to, I think, somebody who's super awesome, and I hope that this person will say all the awesome things about themselves and why they're awesome and great and also really nice, and then say, like, I don't know, where we can find you, Greg.
Thanks, Trooper. No, everybody, I have had an absolute blast. This cast is amazing. Legion, you are fantastic. Our live audience, our YouTube audience has been amazing. Such great, passionate, kind comments that are being made, and just a a lot of really dedicated viewers that I appreciate so very much. If you ever get a chance, join us in the link down below at our Discord. If you can ever catch a live game, please do so. We would love to see you in chat. And if you do pop up in chat on Twitch, just type in "I came from YouTube" and we will hurrah you with ticker tape parades and all that lovely stuff. But I can't say enough about this cast that I have been absolutely blessed with. Everybody that has been here since the beginning of the season, with the addition of Hawk and with the addition of Lindy, as we move forward, the canon only grows. Matt will be coming in for season 2. If you would like to join us, we have a donation below that you can do so, but please just show up and watch and be amazing people in chat. It is very awesome. And I just saw that we had a $50 donation come in from Wow. We have brand new donations for season 2, and I will just ask you, if you would like me to pick, I can surely pick, or you can pop back next week when we have our new donations up. There are several new narrative elements that you can throw in that I kind of peeked to some of the players today. You can pick from them if you would like. I would love to have you dictate and direct your donation as part of the narrative. It is a shared story. Josh couldn't have said it any better. No single person can pen it. And that is why we have this wonderful collective narrative, this wonderful, wonderful group everywhere that is doing this. Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, Tales from the Grim on the Twitch. It has been said, Midsummer tomorrow. I cannot wait. We have a lot of fun things coming up here on the channel. We have a Capers Off-World mini-series that's going to be starting. We have our episode 0 this Sunday. You'll be able to catch it from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And then we go live for our very first episode 1 on the 19th. Troopers in it. We have a lot of fun people that are showing up for that one. A couple more announcements that are going to be popping up. Some really fun charitable things that are going to be popping up, and I can't wait for you all to join us. But we will be back next week to begin season 2. So season 2 begins next week. I can't stay away. This is my zen, my moment of zen during these trying times. I would ask you all to follow these kind, awesome people. They are awesome, they are kind, they are passionate, they are intelligent, they are fucking funny, and they're just great folks. So if you want any of those elements in your life, I strongly suggest that you follow everyone you see here, and I strongly suggest that you take Billy's advice. These are human beings that you need to interact with and not just hit a thumbs up. Say hi, say what you like, start a conversation. We're all here to be a part of this lovely community that can be lovely. And I have faith that we will tell stories, we will be kind, we can lead the way for everybody else that needs a community to join. We can be that. And I hope very much to do so in the future. Thank you all for hanging out. You're absolutely fantastic. We're getting ready to get out of here. So the only thing I can do is, for season 1, as the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. Can't always roll nat 20s. You can always role play. Ezran will return. See you next time.